from this. Keep it from your friends. Show me how you wanna feel. Take it with control. I might show you things you didn't know. You rise for miles above the world. On and on, let it burn all night. We won't even stop for the morning light. Oh, high above the clouds. On and on, let it burn all night. We keep rising up so high. Miles and miles. Tell me what you wanna see. Don't turn off the lights. Take what you want from this. Try to catch me by surprise. Tell me what you wanna see. Bring me to the edge. Get me time and time again. We rise for miles above the world. On and on, let it burn all night. We won't even stop for the morning light. Oh, high above the clouds. On now here I come. I ain't going nowhere, so you better run. I'm a giant, and I never fall. The biggest in the game, I want it all. I'm a giant, like a riot. I'm defiant, more power than a tyrant. I'm a giant, the biggest in the game. I'm a giant, I'm defiant, more power than a tyrant. And I never fall, no, and I want it all.
This week's Dragon football broadcast is brought to you by White's Chapel United Methodist Church, Feed Store Barbecue, Kim Bedwell Briggs Freeman Southlake, Godwin Bowman PC, The Baker Firm Fidelity National Title, Tommy Pennington Realty Group, Macero, All Star Orthopedics, Clayton and Clayton Real Estate, First Autoplex, Southlake Dermatology, CLC Roofing, Patriot Mobile, AC Pros, and Mills Wealth Advisors.
Hey Dragon fans, welcome to the Carroll Dragon Pregame Show, sponsored by Kim Bedwell Real Estate. Now here's your hosts, Chris Blake and Robert Clayton.
We come to you today from the Park Cities in the middle of Dallas from Ford Stadium and SMU. It's the 6A Division II State Semifinal as Region 1 champ Carroll takes on Region 2 winner Longview. The winner of this one takes on the winner of Austin Vandergrift and Humble Summer Creek for the state title next week at AT&T Stadium. Hi there and welcome into the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton, our statistician Scott Farrell, producer Bill Webb, Tim Polster and Trey Bell with the Tradio production team here this afternoon. And it's not unexpected that the Dragons are here. They've been here 3 times in the last 4 years in the state semis. But what's a little different this season has been the way they've gotten here. Carroll has won its first two games by 7 points or less before coming back from an early 14-0 first quarter deficit last week in the 4th round. Longview didn't just beat, but routed 2-time defending state champ DeSoto last week 50-14. The Lobos are 12-2. They haven't lost since week 4, went 6-0 to win the 10-6A district title. So Robert, we are just 1 week away from the state championship games. This is what these teams are working towards.
Well, the state championship is the pinnacle for both these programs, Chris. You know, all the hard work, the dedication, you know, the grit, especially the Southlake Carroll team, the grit they've shown throughout the season. You know, this is what they dream about as a kid and what they prepare about for all year. You know, add the excitement, the pressure, and the opportunity to put their names in history. It's on the line today, Chris.
2 tradition-rich programs here on the field today at SMU, and we start with the Dragons. Every team has obstacles to overcome that has reached this point in the playoffs, but for Carroll, this playoff run has had particularly its fair share. They've come back from several early deficits. They lost a second Division I running back in the postseason and dealt with cold and rain last week, as did just about every other team playing in North Texas. But what has stood out to you about this run for the Dragons?
Well, I think the playoffs isn't just about having talent on your team, Chris, but, you know, it's the ability to overcome the challenges and maintain really the identity of this Dragon team. You know, honestly, it's a testament to really the preparation, the heart, the unity as a team. I think it boils down to, you know, 3 things. You know, obviously the mental toughness, the next man up mentality, and really, you know, a pun on words, weathering the storm, so to speak, the last 2 weeks of just getting through it and getting the W.
Longview, meanwhile, won a 6A state title back in 2018, but was bumped down to 5A for the last 4 years, made the jump back to the larger classification this season. And the Lobos' playoff run has included wins over Garland, Naaman Forest, Lancaster, Klein Collins, and DeSoto. And the last one, I think, surprised a lot of people. How was Longview able to get past the Eagles?
I think it starts up front, their blue-collar mentality. You know, what they do well is run the ball. They ran for over 400 yards. It's not easy to overcome, if you're a team like DeSoto, not being able to stop that run game. But ultimately, they executed in all phases of the games, and this is what this Lobo team can do. They're very similar to a Carroll Dragon coach team, and the culture is there for the Lobos as well.
And that was kind of one of the things that their head coach, John King, talked about when we chatted with him this week, is that these are two school districts with one high school where kids grow up wanting to play on Friday Night Lights, to be a Dragon, to be a Lobo. How do all those years of pulling in one direction come to fruition this deep in the playoffs?
Well, what I love Coach Dodge talked about this week a little bit was giving a little history lesson about the Longview Lobos to the Dragons. And briefly, you're talking about a guy like John King's 21 years coaching, 21 playoff appearances, 1 state championship. Over 35 guys have gone to the NFL from the program. We have 4 guys currently in the NFL, the biggest name being Trent Williams. Both of these communities are identical, that they love football. They started from a young age. They're a one horse in town, and everyone's a Lobo or a Dragon as you grow up. And that's what community kind of rallies around, Chris. And, it's fun to see that pageantry here in the state semifinals.
Well, what a difference a week makes weather-wise. 7 days ago, Carroll and Geyer were playing in cold, rainy conditions. Even last night here, South Oak Cliff and Argyle were playing in not the greatest weather, but here today it is 69 degrees and sunny on December 14th. So we are just about ready, Robert. State semis, ready to go?
Chris, the face paint is on. The lucky wristbands are locked and loaded. We have some pretty awesome Carroll alums coming in on at halftime. Be sure to stick to that. And it's just a beautiful day for the biggest stage. If I'm locked in, Chris, I'm ready to play more than anything.
If you want to further that tease a little bit, what do we got? What do we got coming up at halftime?
Well, we got starting quarterback for the Wyoming Cowboys, Caden Anderson, and Southlake Carroll's all-time leading rusher, Owen Allen, who plays for Air Force. Now he got in quite a bit this year for the Falcons and got his first touchdown. So it's going to be really exciting to kind of catch up with those two and see how their careers are progressing after being Dragons.
We'll certainly stick around for that and stick around for the game, but over the next 30 minutes on the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show, we'll hear from Dragons head coach Riley Dodge, get you the starting lineups and Robert's keys to the game, but first we dive into each team on both sides of the ball. Carroll and Longview in the state semis coming up at 2 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 Dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 Dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Mesero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso-craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come, see why at Mesero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
This time of year, we're all looking for something, but what we really need won't be found under any tree, and it can't be bought for any price. What we're looking for is love, and hope, and peace, and joy. What we're looking for is a place to belong in and a place to believe, a place where miracles still happen. This Christmas, we invite you to find your home at White's Chapel during one of our 7 candlelight Christmas Eve services. Join us as we celebrate the birth of our Savior and the hope of the world.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you back at Ford Stadium on the campus of SMU in University Park for the 6A Division II State Semifinals. Region 1 winners Southlake Carroll, Region 2 winners Longview squaring off today. And let's get into the Carroll offense as we continue on the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show. And Robert, last week for the Dragons was actually a season low in total yards, 298. But they still managed to put up 56 points thanks to 3 non-offensive touchdowns and some short field position. How did the offense start to settle in after a couple early mistakes? Yes, they were helped by the non-offensive touchdowns, but how did they settle down after those first couple of drives?
Well, I think number one, they really just capitalized on the momentum. So they got the big breaks with the turnovers, right? And they executed on those turnovers. They got in the end zone, and they didn't have a whole lot of field to work with. So, I mean, yardage was okay. I mean, 30 yards like you mentioned, but they didn't have the field to work with all game. And so when you look at that, you know, I think that they won the field position overall. And I think you look at it, the playmakers stepped up. You know, Angelo Rinda, Brock Boyd, Ethan Fisher, Zach Hayes, the usual suspects. You know, the guys stepped up in big moments, and they needed that to happen.
Outside for Carroll, one of the guys you mentioned, Brock Boyd, didn't have as big of a game last week as he's had at times during this playoff run, but one thing the Dragons have done, even last week in smaller sample size, is find ways to get him the ball, and at this point, it's something defenses know is coming. So how has Angelo Renda still been able to get Boyd the ball when defenses know that is the receiver that Carroll wants to go to?
Well, I think number one, when you open up the run game with Rinda as well, you got to keep the defense honest a little bit, right? And so his ability really to start opening up with his legs a little bit has still allowed less pressure on Boyd overall, which I still look at defenses. I don't understand why they're not double covering Boyd. Ultimately, he's such a dynamic player. But, you know, you have a guy like that who runs the routes that Boyd does. He just does a phenomenal job. And that connection from Rinda and Boyd, because we're talking about a partnership that's been there really since DYF.
Yep. I mean, look at Boyd, both just juniors, 94 catches this year, more than 1,600 yards, and in the playoffs alone, 41 catches for 535 yards and 2 touchdowns. Boyd, of course, committed to TCU, an all-district performer last year as just a sophomore. But looking at this Longview defense, holds DeSoto to 14 points a week ago. Yes, the Eagles did lose DeAndre Ryden Jr., their all-world running back, in the first half of that game, but still kept the Eagles to just 14 points. And it's really led in the middle by a couple of linebackers who are going on to play at the next level in Brendan Reese and Kason Brooks. Brooks leads the team in tackles with 154, 15 sacks on the year, 34 tackles for a loss. He's going to Harding over in Arkansas. Brendan Reese, 121 tackles, 5 sacks, 15 for loss. He is committed to play at the University of North Texas. So how do those two impact what this defense does as a whole?
Well, I think when you have a 4-2-5, you're only playing 6 in the box, you're telling other teams and offenses that, hey, we have so much trust in our linebackers, they're going to get the job done, and they do. On film, they do fly around to the ball, they make plays. They have the back end, they have the 4-2-5, they have the 5 defensive backs. Now, I will say it's a little construed. Sometimes they do bring them up a little bit to play against the run. They have a very active defensive line, not the biggest defensive line, nothing near that the Dragons saw last week versus Geyer, but a very active group that's disciplined.
It's a defensive line that has suffered some injuries this season. Secondary, they've also had to replace some guys. Actually, most of the secondary last year was first-team All-District when they were down in 7-5A, and a lot of juniors starting in the secondary. One of those guys, Jemias Morrow, another big tackler for them, 133 on the year, a couple of sacks. We'll get more into the starting lineup all the way around as we get closer to kickoff. But when you look at this younger secondary for Longview, how do they perform?
Well, they're not. I wouldn't say it's a flashy group. They're steady. They play well together, and they've done. They perform well. I mean, they play great as a unit. That's all that they can really ask for. Not a lot of teams that they play against really tend to get in the back end of them a lot. Coming from East Texas, the offenses are a little bit different than you traditionally see. And I think last week versus DeSoto, I think the elements played a big factor in it as well, and it kind of slowed it down a little bit. I think they're definitely a very respectable group in the back end.
It's a Longview team that Carroll goes up against today. 12-2 on the year, 6-0 to win District 10 6A. The only 2 losses suffered in non-district play against South Oak Cliff in Week 3 and against Ruston in Week 4. So that's a look at how this Carroll offense stacks up against the Longview defense. And when we return on the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show, we'll talk Dragons defense and Lobos offense. Kickoff coming up at 2 o'clock in the 6A Division II State Semifinals on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
At AC Pros, we are a family-owned company that has been in business for 27 years in the DFW Metroplex. At AC Pros, we offer air conditioning and heating services, maintenance and sales, and we are a certified Trane dealer. Protect against the Texas heat or the cold in the winter with attic insulation, radiant barrier, or window replacement options. Contact us today for a complimentary energy analysis and air quality test. AC Pros, online at acprostx.com. Go Dragons!
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy, with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons!
Hey Dragon fans, it's Tommy Pennington here with the Tommy Pennington Realty Group at Compass. Do you think you need to do improvements to sell your home? Start planning today. Inquire about our Compass Concierge program. It's the hottest program in real estate where our broker will pay for the improvements at zero cost to you. Call us today at 817-416-9000 or check us out on the web 24/7 at calltommy.com. So from my Dragon fans to yours,
calltommy.com. Go Dragons!
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building, attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
Carroll and Longview in the 6A Division II State Semifinal coming up at 2 o'clock this afternoon on the Dragon Sports Network. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton. We are at Ford Stadium on the campus of SMU in Dallas today. A beautiful December afternoon, 69 degrees and sunny. All the clouds that were here last night, even a little bit this morning, have cleared out, and it should be a gorgeous afternoon for high school football. Let's talk about this Carroll defense now and how it matches up against the Longview offense. And the Dragons against Geyer last week had a big day in the turnover department, recovering 4 fumbles, 1 interception, scored 3 touchdowns on special teams and defense combined. Yes, a couple of those fumble recoveries were the benefit of poor snaps on Geyer's special teams, but they still capitalized. And Robert, so yes, a little bit of help from the Geyer special teams, but they still took advantage. How did they make sure they still turned those into points?
Well, I think they took advantage of it, during the week of preparation. They did have one takeaway where they essentially just took the pitch and took it for a touchdown, and they knew it was coming. And I think that's where you look at this Carroll team, just looking at the opportunities they get, how they execute on them. They do the little things extraordinarily well, and they execute all phases of the game, whether it's special teams, defense, and they came up with a lot of big stops later in the game. Really, that offense of Geyer was a very difficult offense. It was more of a power run attack with the quarterback, and they were able to shut them down for a few series and then get on top, pretty quickly there in the second quarter.
And that play you referenced was Zach Hayes getting into the backfield basically before they could even complete a pitch. And Hayes here in the playoffs has really elevated his game. 25 tackles during these 4 playoff games, 3.5 sacks, 9 hurries. That it goes down as a forced fumble, a recovery, and a touchdown on that play last week. But maybe more than any other Dragon pass rusher has taken a step forward here over the last month. What have you seen from him?
Well, you see the progression of him is just as a defensive player. You love to see that momentum throughout the year gain as a player. His ability and his natural ability to get to the quarterback, it's phenomenal. There was a stretch there in the second round where I think he made every play for 4 downs against Friendship, and I tell you what, it was incredible. And you're starting to see really him, not only be a force, but being consistently a force on the defensive side. And he's a guy who's going to be returning. Who's a big addition for this Dragon defense next year.
Yeah, talking about not knowing what they were going to do at defensive end coming into this season when they moved Van Dorsler from tight end to defensive end and moved Davidge from inside to outside on the defensive line. Zach Hayes has certainly helped provide an answer to that.
Even on the edge, but then, what Lee Munn likes to do defensive coordinator-wise, he likes to move in that 3-3 stack, and Zach plays he can put his hand down and then get back in the back, on the back end, and that's not easy, but he performs very, very well. His development has been tremendous for the Dragon defense.
Now, one of the things the Dragon defense will have to deal with up front is the rushing attack of the Lobos. This is a team that's going to run the ball. They threw it 5 times against DeSoto last week. Yes, the weather was bad, but still not a team that throws it a ton. On the year, only about 1,400 yards through the air, 3,700 on the ground, and it's a running attack that is led by senior Kelvin Washington. He goes by Boosie. And in the playoffs, the last 2 weeks specifically, 48 carries, 502 yards, and 9 touchdowns. What makes Washington such a dangerous back?
Well, I think on a personal level is speed. He's about a 4.38, 4.4 guy, and you can see it on film. You get him in the second level, he's almost gone if you don't get a hand on him. On the other end, they don't do a lot of things that fancy, right? I mean, they do something very, very well. This is the power run game. They're going to block down, they're going to pull around, they're going to lead the fullback, and they're going to go mano to mano and say, hey, can you fit here? If you don't fit, we're going to take it to the house. If not, we're going to get our yards, we're going to line up, and we're going to do it again.
Something I don't think we've seen maybe all season, or at least since the opening game against Midland, which is a fullback in the game. That's going to be Buster Mumphrey. He's no slouch running the ball himself, 100 carries on the year, 489 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But we will see that fullback play to play for the Lobos today.
Well, I think the benefit of this Dragon team is that they played Midland start of the year. They also played a very physical group in Trinity. They did utilize a fullback as well, a very power-oriented game as well. So they've been in those tough physical matchups where really nowadays you don't see a lot.
And at quarterback for the Lobos, it's sophomore Johnny Hamilton. He goes by Trey, who has kind of become the starter over the last few weeks here in the playoffs. Senior Maverick Rowe had been the starter all season, was injured, and Hamilton kind of stepped into that slot, and Coach King has decided to keep him there. How does it look differently with Hamilton under center?
It's hard to explain, Chris. I think the change obviously was due to injury, but when you look on film, the presence of Hamilton, he's a bigger guy. He's more of an athlete. He's just more of a threat, and I think coaches feel comfortable with him on the field, and he does a great job. I think maybe him being a sophomore a little bit was preemptive for the coach not to put him in there, but he's executed well. And you can see he makes a lot of plays on his own, on film.
King said his dad is Hamilton's dad, that is an assistant athletic director in the district. So Hamilton has been just around the program as a ball boy from a very young age and knows the ins and outs of this offense and the program. So that is how this Lobos offense could match up against the Carroll defense. And when we return on the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show, we will hear from Dragons head coach Riley Dodge on the Dragons Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, offering dependable nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks, so you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to in your area, minus the leftist propaganda. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. Keep your phone and keep your number, too. Just go to patriotmobile.com/dragons or call 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code DRAGONS.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Christmas is a season of joy as we celebrate that manger in Bethlehem and the dawn of God's redeeming grace. All month long, White's Chapel is filled with opportunities to experience the joy of the season. From our trains, musical programs, and activities of all types, we invite you to come and share in the celebration. Please go to our church website for times and information. Join us as we repeat the sounding joy of Christmas.
It is the state semifinals at 6A Division II, Carroll and Longview from SMU this afternoon. Chris Blake joined by Dragons head coach Riley Dodge. And Coach, Let's go back to last week's game against Denton Geyer before we talk about the Lobos, because you guys got down in a 14-0 hole. Not the first time in the playoffs you've been down, but in that weather, getting down early after an early turnover. What was the demeanor like on the sidelines at that point?
Yeah, our kids, there's no panic. Kids had a great look in the eye, joked around with the offense before we took our second possession. Told them we got them right where we want them, so just trying to keep it light. But I thought it was a major response by our guys, especially being down 14-0. We knew we couldn't go down 3 possessions, and to make it 14-7 and then quickly 14-14, we were able to settle in and, capitalize throughout the game.
Turnovers, a big story on both sides, helped you guys climb back in it. And how important is it to make sure you capitalize on those? Because it's one thing to get the turnovers, but what goes into ensuring that you don't take your foot off the gas when you do get the ball back in those situations?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the big thing, when you get those opportunities, especially in the playoffs versus really good people, you gotta take advantage of those opportunities, and we did. And I don't know what the percentages are, but turnover ratio. But if you're winning the battle, +1, I think it's somewhere around high 60s, low 70s, and then obviously as it goes up, your chances get greater to win the football game. So you got to take care of the football this time of year. You got to you got to get takeaways.
One thing you guys have done well all playoffs is get into the backfield, and I thought one of the best individual efforts we've seen all season came in the second half when Zach Hayes got into the backfield and basically just ripped the ball out of an exchange and took it in for a touchdown. What'd you see on that play?
Yeah, we knew at some point they were going to try something tricky. They put their backup quarterback at the quarterback position, and they put number 9, their starter, at a wide receiver alignment. And anytime they'd done it all year, they were going to find a way to get the ball back to their starter. And so we had a plan for it. If they decided to present that picture to us, and our Coach Mon and our defense staff and our kids, ultimately it's our kids that are making those plays. And Zach just did exactly what we told him to do, widen out and just go straight at the mesh point, and he pretty much intercepted the pitch, the exchange, and just unbelievable job our guys just through preparation. That's how we got that. How we got that touchdown.
One more question defensively for you guys. We saw Will Tahalo, Landon Harris get some time defensively at key spots in this one. How'd you think the 2 sophomores looked against Geyer?
Yeah, young pups thrown into the fire, quarterfinal game versus a really good football team. I thought they handled themselves really, really well, and just proud of the way they made plays.
Bad weather games, obviously a lot more fun when you win them.
There's no doubt.
Now, today, you guys take on a Longview team that just defeated the 2-time defending state champion DeSoto. What did you see when you went back and watched that tape from the Lobos?
I think the biggest thing that jumps off the screen is very, very physical football team. And, they're very direct about their attack offensively and defensively. And Coach King has done an unbelievable job there for so many years, and have so much respect for him and his staff and their program on how they go about their work each and every day. And so, but yeah, definitely the better team won last week. It was definitely not a fluke.
You talk about the physicality. Kelvin Washington, their running back, has run for more than 200 yards each of the last 2 weeks. He's done it 5 times this year, including once going over 300. How do you try to find a way to slow him down?
Yeah, he reminds us very similar to the 2 running backs at Trinity. Just very explosive. Not the biggest guy in the world, but man, he can really run for his size. He runs behind his pads. He's very physical. But I think for them, it really starts up front. I don't think the O-line, their tight ends, or fullbacks are getting enough credit right now. They're a group that really play well together. They come off the football. There's no tentative steps in what they do, and so we're gonna have to be great up front with our D line and our linebackers.
And they've got a couple linebackers on the defensive side in Brendan Reese and Kason Brooks, who are committed to go play at the next level. Is that kind of where the strength of the defense lies, in that linebacking core?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the best 2 linebackers we've played all year, for sure. And then makes it even tougher because they're on the same team. They're right side by side. And, just 2 guys that are really physical. They want to keep those 2 guys in the box to stop the run. So, we got to do a great job when we get up to the second level of connecting. But they're two dudes that can really run sideline to sideline.
You play Longview in a state semifinal today. How do you temper the seriousness of the game with also making sure your players enjoy the moment?
Sure. There's no doubt. I mean, I think the big thing with this group is just, we've been really focused on one day at a time, worry about Monday, Tuesday, et cetera. Try to dominate the day and let's get better. It's a slow chip away, ultimately to 2:00, and I think our kids are ready for the challenge. They're ready for the moment. This program's always been, under the spotlight and played big games. And, I'm excited for this young football team to get this opportunity.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time and good luck today.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Dragons head coach Riley Dodge joining us on the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show. Carroll and Longview coming up next in a state semifinal on the Dragons Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Feed Store Barbecue on Whitechapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Howdy, Dragon fans. This is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing. As a Southlake resident, I understand what winning teams and championships are all about. CLC Roofing is your one-stop commercial and residential roofing provider. We offer roofing, gutter, skylight, and solar options for your home. Whether you need a new roof or just a repair, contact us today to schedule your free roofing inspection. You can visit us online at clcroofing.com or contact my office directly at 817-416-ROOF. That's clcroofing.com or call us directly at 817-416-ROOF. And go Dragons, let's finish.
Hey Dragon fans, Tommy Pennington here. Like the Carroll Dragons, my team understands it takes great fans to be a winner. I want to personally thank all of our Tommy Pennington Realty Group fans for their loyalty and ongoing support. It's because of you we continue to support our Dragon organizations every year. Please remember, we love helping Dragon families with all of their real estate needs. I'm here to give you the best advice and to help you anytime. My Dragon fans would tell you,
call Tommy.com. Go Dragons!
This is Dr. Mark Greenberg, team physician for the Carroll Dragons. All-Star Orthopedics is proud to be the official sports medicine providers of Dragon Athletics. Our 8 board-certified orthopedic specialists offer surgical as well as non-surgical treatments for a full range of orthopedic injuries and conditions, with on-site imaging and physical therapy, along with best-in-class outpatient and inpatient surgical facilities. You can trust that we will be there with you every step of the way. Let us get you back in the game.
Right side gets away from a defender across the 5. Touchdown Dragons.
From Ford Stadium at SMU, it is the 6A Division II State Semifinals between Carroll and Longview. We will pause for the completion of the national anthem and get you the starting lineups for today's game. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton alongside here at Ford Stadium at SMU this afternoon as Carroll looks to make its first state title game since 2020 with a win today over Longview. Longview last played for a state championship when it won the state title back in 2018. So, Robert, a beautiful afternoon here in University Park on the SMU campus. Fans continuing to filter in on each side, and we are ready to go with state semifinal action.
Oh, you can feel it. You can see the Dragon fans still filling into the stadium. It is getting filled up as we speak. You know, last time, Chris, the Dragons were here and won a state semifinal game was the Silver Fox game versus Skyline. And so you got a little bit of luck here in the stadium today for the semifinal matchup.
It has been a while since Carroll played here. Riley Dodge has never coached a game here at SMU in his 7 years as Dragon head coach, as we take a look at the starting lineups for the Dragons this afternoon. And we will start on offense in the backfield. Angelo Renda and Christian Glenn will see most of the time there. Parker Harris has also worked at running back here over the last couple of weeks due to depth.
Southlake has won the toss. They've deferred their choice to the second half.
That was the voice of our referee, Bill Theodore. So you hear Carroll will kick to get things started tonight, or this afternoon, as we take a look at the pass catchers for the Dragons today. Tight end Jacob Obrowski, the receivers Knowles, Jacquemart, Gunter, and Boyd. And Robert, we would probably expect to see a few more pass attempts for Carroll with better conditions today.
Well, I think so. I mean, Coach Dodge talked a little bit about that situation last week. Was
Longview will receive north end zone.
You've still got a plan for that passing game. And today with the conditions, it's going to be a little more comfortable to get it out there to the skill guys, Chris.
And then up front for the Dragons, same five that had started together all but once this year. Luke and Trent Wilson on the left side with Kerry Clayton at center, Nathan Damaraki at right guard, and Tristan Dare at right tackle.
And this is a group, Chris, that's really come together, and not only from the start of the season, but to now they're one of the more dominating forces here in the state of Texas.
Let's take a look at the Carroll defense. On the defensive line, Van Dorsler, Lucky, Oakley, and Davidge. Hayes will also see plenty of time there for the Dragons. At linebacker this afternoon, it'll be the group of four we saw last week: Tahalo, Browse, Fedor, and Ladd. And the secondary for Carroll, cornerbacks Landon Harris and Ethan Fisher, with Gavin Strange, Parker Harris, and William Chen at the back end. Quickly, let's take a look at Robert's keys to the game.
So nothing crazy here. Number one, you got to shut down Washington, number 20. He's the heart and soul of this Lobo offense. And number two, create some turnovers. Got to get a little point differential versus Longview. Number three, dominate the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a physical matchup on both sides of the ball today.
All kickoffs this afternoon will be powered by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend, or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. 6A Division II State Semifinals, ready to get started from Ford Stadium in Dallas on the campus of SMU. And back to receive this one for Longview is number 20, who you just heard Robert mention, Kelvin Washington, the electric running back for the Lobos, along with Jaden Herndon. He is a freshman that has been returning kicks for him this season, has also seen some time at wide receiver. Gavin Strange, the kicker for the Dragons, kicking right to left in front of us. That is south to north. Carroll on the home west sideline here at Ford Stadium, Longview on the east side. The opening kickoff off the foot of Strange is going to be fielded at the goal line running along the hash. Big hit at the 15 by the Dragons, and the ball carrier is only up to the 17-yard line. Carroll says the ball came out. No word yet from the officials, and it is Longview ball, says the referee Bill Theodore, but there is a Lobo players down at the point of contact. The officiating crew this afternoon, the referee Bill Theodore, umpire Chris Thames, head line judge Thomas Bean, the line judge is Armando Alvarado, side judge Bryant Warren, field judge Brad Vick, and the back judge is Kevin Yarbrough. So they continue to tend to the down Lobo players, so a little bit of stop and momentum here before we even get started.
And as we get started here for offense, we hope the young man from Longview is okay. But those at home listening today, you're going to hear us talk a lot about a different type of offense the Dragons don't see quite a bit, and that is going to be in the I formation. They will get into shotgun a little bit and do some 11 personnel. They'll also get down and do a 22 personnel, 12 personnel as well. And so basically they're going to have, majority of the time, two backs in the backfield every time. And so, get ready for that at home. They're going to stay in between the tackles, get in between the B and C gap.
The player who is down for Longview is junior cornerback Robert White. He is a starter for them. So if he is banged up, that would certainly be a loss for the Lobos, as he is being helped off now by a couple of members of the athletic training staff. And the Longview offense making its way onto the field now with a little bit of a damper on the excitement here on the Lobos sideline. But this offense, as we've talked about, Kelvin Washington, the senior, 2,425 rushing yards this year, set the single season record at Longview, and they come out in the I formation. The fullback Buster Mumphrey right behind the center Johnny Hamilton, who is under center, and they give it to Washington running up the middle on first down. He is across the 20 to the 22-yard line.
And a big look that we haven't seen from Southlake at all this year, going into a five-man front with two linebackers. Again, Longview starts out in their power game. They're not going to vary from it too much today. But again, getting that guard pulled around, trying to get that easy 5 to 6 yards.
Ball up to the 22. It'll be 2nd and 5 from there. Front for Carroll. Van Dorsler, Lucky, Davidge, and Hayes along that defensive front. The linebackers Ladd and Browse out there right now as Longview breaks the huddle. Come out shotgun, one back each side of the quarterback Hamilton. Two receivers right, ball on the left hash. Hamilton will throw, gets it into the flat. Washington makes the catch, but it was behind him, and he had to reach back for the ball. He gained maybe a yard to the 23. 3rd down coming up.
And you're going to see that they want to get Washington involved so much in this offense. They're going to swing him out, get him on the perimeter. And what Parker Harris did right there for the Dragons, you've got to find him, you've got to locate him, and you've got to make sure he stays on the ground.
Coming into the game, he had 280 touches on the year. Make it 282 after that carry and the reception. So he is a guy that will handle the ball quite a bit for the Lobos. On 3rd and 4. Shotgun again, trips left, Washington to the quarterback's right. They run a quarterback keeper. Hamilton gets outside across the 30 for the first down, along the numbers up to the 31.
Again, we talked about Johnny Hamilton. Again, this is just very similar to what they saw last week versus Geyer. A little power read here by Hamilton. He kept it. He's just a bigger body, and he can fall forward and get those extra yards.
Picks up 8 on the play as Washington heads to the sideline for a snap. They bring in an extra tight end, Donovan Denmark, a senior. Out of the gun again. Hamilton will throw out to the left side. One-on-one coverage there. Nice open field tackle made by Ethan Fisher, but close to the chains, and that will be a first down. Gain of about 11 to Demarion Williams.
You've seen a little bit of throw from Hamilton here to Demarion Williams. Demarion Williams is his target, his favorite target. He's a big target out there, but again, Ethan Fisher coming up with a big tackle in space. That's never easy.
Williams, a senior, 16 catches, 254 yards on the year. Now a first down at their own 42. They come out in the I formation again. Extra tight end to the left side on the left hash. Washington running up the middle, keeps the legs churning, still moving the pile forward across the 45 to the 47. And Carroll made contact right at about the line of scrimmage, but Washington able to pick up some extra yardage after contact.
It's a great job by Chin coming in. And again, you've got to wrap up with Washington. He will get you an extra 5 or 6 yards if you don't bring him to the ground. He is that elusive and that powerful of a running back. Not a big guy, only about 5'8", about maybe a $150, $160.
Strong side to the right this time. Ball's loose in the backfield. They fumbled the exchange, and Longview is able to fall on it. But that'll be a loss for the Lobos. The fullback, Buster Mumphrey, able to get on it. That gets him back behind the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Again, this is where Southlake wants them. They want him to get behind the sticks just a little bit. Forces this young quarterback, Hamilton, now on these downs, play behind and try to force it in the passing game, which is not their strong suit. Heads up by the Dragons on the last play.
Loss of 6 on the fumble. Trips to the right, ball in the center of the field at the 41-yard line. Hamilton looking to throw, under pressure, being chased in the backfield, and he is sacked. Zach Hayes, the first one there, and it was William Chen also there to help clean things up.
You put Longview in a passing situation just like that, and it is very difficult, Chris. You're putting a guy who's a sophomore at Hamilton back there. Then you have Zach Hayes and William Chen. What a play by Zach Hayes. Talk about a playmaker, stepping up big for the Dragons in the first series.
The punter for Longview is Alexander Mitchell. Low snap. He's going to have to run with it, gets some room out to his right, gets it away, but it is out of bounds along the Dragons sideline. And for the second straight week, Carroll gets some help from the opposing punt unit. Dragons will have great field position here. Are they going to say his knee was down at one point before he kicked it? Or no, it did go out of bounds just at the 25-yard line. And now they mark it up to the 27, it would appear. So,
again, short field position. Now, that Dragon special teams is something special, y'all. No pun intended. But putting the offense here in a great scoring opportunity, already on their side of the field, being able to execute. This is where Riley likes to throw to spots, not players. We'll see what happens.
The punt goes for a loss of 2, believe it or not. Nice job by Alexander just to find any space to get it away. But Angelo Renda leads this offense onto the field for the first time on the left hash at the 27-yard line. Glenn to his left, gives it to him on first down, makes a defender miss in the backfield, and gets across the 20 to the 19. Carroll into the red zone. It'll be 2nd and short.
Just the inside zone play here. Great job and great vision by Christian Glenn on seeing the cutback lane and hitting it in between the B gap and getting the first down, or getting close to the first down.
2nd and 2 from the 19. 2 receivers to the right, tight end to the left, lined up in the backfield. Knowles alone on the left side of the formation for Carroll. Renda fakes the pitch to Glenn, will keep it himself, running right across the 15 and goes down to the 14-yard line, first down.
You're getting your big senior left guard, Trent Wilson. They're on a power play, getting out there on the edge around right tackle. And listen, Ridnick can follow him all day. He's going to give him all the yards he needs.
First and 10 from the 14-yard line of the Lobos. 2 receivers stacked to each side. Glenn motions out of the backfield to the left. Renda, empty backfield, under pressure, throws over the middle. It's tipped up and intercepted. We've talked about those 2 big linebackers in the middle for Longview. And after Carroll winds up with great field position, the ball is tipped up into the air and picked off by the Lobos.
What a play by Casey Brooks. Just getting a hand on the ball, then coming up with the interception. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a big-time player. He's a very good linebacker. He's the playmaker for this Longview defense.
That is his first interception of the season. It is Brooks and Brendan Reese in the middle there that are the heart of this Lobos defense. And now Longview has it at the 15-yard line. I formation. They give it to Washington, running up the middle again, puts his head down and falls forward to the 20-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play.
A good job by the Dragon defensive line. They're getting penetration, Chris, which, for this defensive line is key. Is coming on the backside. Got to get more on the front side there. They got to get off those double teams and really spill these blockers coming through here and create more of a power on the backfield. Longview is seemingly getting 4 to 5 yards every rush play.
They come out in that I set again, one receiver to the right, tight end to each side of the formation. They give it to the fullback Mumphrey this time, the dive behind the left guard, and he gets up to the 23-yard line, about 3 yards on the play.
And you'll see that from time to time. They will utilize the fullback more when they're in those situations where they're 2nd and 5 and 3rd and 5, chew up a little bit more yardage for them.
Mumphrey, the fullback, 100 rushes coming into the game, 489 yards. And they will use the I formation again. Mumphrey, the fullback. Washington, the running back. They give it to Mumphrey again, right up to the yard to gain for the first down, and they are going to move the sticks. Gain of 2 on the play for Buster Mumphrey.
Again, it's nothing crazy here what Longview is doing, Chris. They're trying to get 5 to 6 yards on first down, then chew up on the next 2 downs and methodically move the ball down the field. They hope this Dragon defense can fit wrong at one point and break a big run.
This time Hamilton in the shotgun with Washington to his left, one receiver each side of the set, and Hamilton will throw. Gets it over to Williams again, gets outside of Fisher, some running room down the left sideline. Dragons chasing him down. Can they get there? Inside the 20, inside the 15, and Demarion Williams goes all the way into the Carroll red zone, a gain of 65 yards. They'll mark him down at the 10.
We talk about how difficult it's a one-on-one matchup. When you're on an island there on the outside for Ethan Fisher, it's a tough play to make, but great hustle by the Dragon defenders on getting him down and a tackle-saving touchdown.
And there is a Dragon defender down on the back end of the play at about the 8-yard line of the Dragons. But Williams now with a couple of catches in this one for Longview. Their leading receiver, both yardage and reception-wise, and up quickly for the Dragons. Walking off from the far side is Parker Harris, the junior safety. He is also Carroll's punt returner, so something to keep an eye on there.
I mean, what an effort by Parker Harris. He came from clear all the way across the field, a good 20-yard, 15-yard disadvantage, and catches Williams. Great heads-up play by the Dragon defender, and we hope Parker's okay.
Well, for Longview now, they've gone to Williams a couple of times. He's wound up one-on-one with Fisher. Fisher able to make the stop the first time. This time, Williams breaks a big play. Is that trying to get another defender out of the box to free up some room for Washington?
Absolutely. So they're trying to pick on a one-on-one situation. And listen, watching film, Williams is a good player. He's a great little receiver. They don't throw a lot. Doesn't get exposed as much. But again, they're trying to get someone out of that box, get Carroll to open up a little bit.
I formation inside the red zone from the 10. They give it to Washington. He runs into a wall and picks up a couple of yards to the 8. Several Dragons in on the stop, and one of the things Coach King of the Lobos said this week, talking to him, is just when he watches Carroll play, he was impressed by how many white helmets wind up at the football at the end of every play.
And you've got to, and it's a big play by Marcus Prowse there. You're going against a Longview offensive line that's not, by stature, a very big unit. But I tell you what, you get in these situations, you get inside the 10, they're going to lean on them. They're a very physical group. So that means this Dragon defense, you got to show up with hat on a hat and get the runner down.
Carroll only had 10 players on the field. They're running someone out there late, and that is going to force
Longview. It's their first time out of the half.
Actually called the timeout. They had a chance there with Carroll running a defender on late, but we will take this timeout as well. With 4:21 to go in the first quarter, no score between Carroll and Longview in the 6A Division II State Semifinals on the Dragon Sports Network.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy, with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons.
Longview using its first timeout before a 2nd and goal play from the 8-yard line. No score with 4:21 to go in the first quarter. State semis between the Dragons and the Lobos. Longview A big 65-yard gain by Demarion Williams, the senior receiver, to get into Carroll territory. Now they come out of the huddle in the gun with running back Mumphrey to the left of Hamilton. And now the Dragons will use a timeout. So we will stay here.
Carroll, it's their first timeout of the half.
But we will stay here this time, both sides spending a timeout before this second and goal snap. And maybe not quite what we expected with 4 minutes left in the first quarter, that these two high-powered offense would not have scored yet, either of them in this one.
Well, you know, when you play a dominating running team like Longview and you can get a stop, you're going to use some time off. And that's the advantage of the Dragons. You know, you want to try to bleed as much time off this clock as possible. You know, again, we're two miscues here on both teams that they could take away.
Longview had a punt nearly blocked and ended up being a loss of 2 on the play. Carroll with an interception on offense. So each team has kind of traded field position there. Timeout is over as both teams come back out. Carroll's running a couple of defenders on and off the field once they see the personnel that Longview has out there. And they come out in the I formation, give it to Washington, running up the middle to the 5 before he is stopped, a gain of 3.
Chris, you're seeing the Dragon defense blow up just a little bit here. They're playing off that double team there on the left side. You know, they're wanting to get that pulling guard around into the B and C gap there. The Dragons are doing a great job of just holding them up, allowing the linebackers to play over the top, giving them a minimal gain.
Got those extra linemen in there. Charlie Roberts into the game out wide. Washington trying to bounce it outside across the 10. Going to be pushed out of bounds. May have even lost a yard on the play. Let's see where they mark him, but it is going to be 4th and goal and likely time for the field goal unit for the Lobos.
What a play by the Dragon defense. You had Robbie Ladd in hot pursuit. I tell you what, it's not easy bringing down Washington, but getting him to the corner before he can turn up and get to the end zone. Great job by the Dragon defense.
So it is 4th down, and Alexander Mitchell, who is also the punter, will come out for this field goal try, hoping for a little bit better luck than his last time on the field. This just from 24. He is 10 of 13 on field goal attempts this season. And a flag comes out before the ball is snapped.
False start, offense, number 37. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
So that makes it a 29-yard field goal try for Mitchell.
And Chris, we talked about the little things, the little start of the false start, the bad punt. You know, you've got to execute all phases for Longview.
The snapper is Mason Lundy, the holder Maverick Rowe. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So Mitchell splits the uprights for the 11th time this year on a field goal try, and it gives Longview the first points of the game with 3:42 to go in the first quarter. It is the Lobos 3 and the Dragons nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 Dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Longview on the board first, leading 3-0, and the Massero kickoff off the foot of Alexander Mitchell lands in the end zone for a touchback. All kickoffs powered by Massero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend, or any day with queso Massero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. find us at the shops at Southlake, Macero, where love is always on the house. So for the Lobos, an 8-play, 85-yard drive that took 4 minutes and 18 seconds, capped off with an Alexander Mitchell 29-yard field goal. Big play was that Demarion Williams 65-yard catch and run to get him into Carroll territory. Dragons ball, empty backfield now at the 25-yard line. 3 receivers right. They bring Jacquemart in motion left to right. Tight end to the right of the formation as well. Renda takes the snap, going to run that way across the 30. Running behind one of his blockers and just left the forearm in Jacquemart's back as they shoved both Jacquemart and the defender across the first down marker for a new set of downs.
Well, you saw the progression of the play, moving Christian Glenn out, bringing him in motion. The convoy was ready to go on the right side, and I tell you, Andrew, to get behind Jacquemart and just imposing his will to Jacquemart, they're getting this first down.
So 1st and 10. From the 37. Jacquemart motions out wide to the left. Renda back to throw. Under some pressure. Gets it rid of it to Glenn in the flat. Makes a man miss across the 40 to the 45, and they'll spot him at the 46.
Really love the poise of Angelo Renda there. You know, it broke down a little bit. Coverage was good. And then Christian Glenn had actually fallen down, and he was going to take off and run. Last moment, he stayed patient and didn't deliver. Wait for Glenn to get up. Delivered a strike to Glenn, getting almost a first down.
9-yard gain for Christian Glenn. 2nd and about 1.5 from the 30 or 45-yard line. Renda, they throw a little reverse. Jacquemart coming around left to right, has Boyd blocking out in front of him, and Jacquemart eventually going to be caught from behind by one of the Longview defenders.
But Jesse Williams, what a play by just coming from the back end and chasing down Jacquemart. Jacquemart's got some speed. He's that slot guy for Southlake. And I'll tell you what speed on the defensive side Longview shows.
Longview defense, 4 down front. Jaden Woolridge, Jamarian George, DeKayla Nelson, and Tyson Johnson. On first down from 47, Dragons bring a receiver in motion. That's Boyd, right to left. And flag comes out here as the ball was snapped.
Ball start on the offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Dragons backed up 5. It'll be 1st and 15. 2.5 minutes to go in the first.
Trent Wilson's getting off the ball, quicker than anyone else, essentially, Chris. Try and get that first step in on the Longview Lobo defensive line.
We haven't gotten to see the Dragon offense much so far today. Longview has controlled possession, keeping the ball on the ground predominantly. Here's the first quarter, winds down. Angelo Renda and company trying to get something going as they look to the sideline for the play call. Waiting for the band to stop playing, I believe. Now the official will wind the clock. A lot of green here today. Longview just a shade of green darker than the Dragons. Out of the gun, they bring Boyd in motion again, right to left, and this is going to be another false start. Flags fly again.
Ball start on the offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
That time it was the right guard, Nathan Damaraki, and uncharacteristic for the Dragons to have back-to-back false start penalties.
It is, but you see both of these plays, they're bringing a little bit of motion, a little more slower developing, and maybe this can't hear it. It is a good crowd out here at SMU. Again, one of the first time we've seen Southlake really play behind the sticks a little bit here on first down.
Dragons rushing off a tight end, bringing Knowles onto the field with the down and distance now 1st and 20. They keep it on the ground. Flag flies, and it'll be a short gain, maybe a yard. And there's a flag along. There's a couple of flags. One in the secondary, one along the Lobos sideline.
Well, it looks like the head coach was out there when the play was snapped. Essentially the 12th man for the Lobos.
And John King is not pleased. Out along the numbers, yelling at one of the officials. They are discussing the calls right about where the ball would be placed at the 38. King in his 21st year as the Lobos head coach. He's there for a few years before that as the offensive coordinator. He's coached at high schools in both Louisiana and Texas. They're still talking this over.
There's no foul on the play for 12 men on the defense as the substitution process had not been completed. It's first down.
So they'll replay the down, it would appear. Still first down. The ball is still at the 37-yard line. So 1st and 20 for Carroll. Got to get into Lobos territory to get a first down. They come out with 2 receivers each side, one running back to the left of Angelo Renda. And they get it out to Boyd on the short pass across the 40 to the 45, gain of 8 on the play before he is brought down.
Good pitch and catch by Renda to Boyd. You're seeing Kason Brooks, number 31, made the big play there with the interception, showing his speed there, tackling in space. Great bring down on Boyd.
2nd and 12 now from their own 45. One receiver left, 2 to the right, tight end to the right as well. Glenn in the backfield with Renda. Renda will throw here. Goes over the middle, has Boyd open, and it was just a step too far in front of him. Brock was there over the middle.
Great route running by Boyd, just wide open there on the slant route. I know Angelo wants that back. Could deliver a strike. That would have been a big gain for the Dragon offense.
Longview rotates a couple of new defensive linemen into the game before this 3rd down and 12 play from the Carroll 45. 2 receivers stacked each side. Glenn in the backfield with Renda. This is Carroll's first 3rd down play of the game. Glenn motions out of the backfield to the left. Renda drops back to throw over the middle, complete to Gunter at the 50. Across the 45-40 into Lobo territory and brought down along the Dragon sideline for a first down after a gain of 20.
What a play by Blake Gunter coming in on the little curl route, sitting down on his route. A great strike by Renda, and then that's all Blake Gunter. Getting north and south, finding the sticks, putting his head down, and that's pure will and determination. Great job by Blake Gunter.
Junior safety Bradley Williams on the stop for the Lobos. 1st and 10 from the Longview 35. 2 receivers right, they bring one in motion to the left, that's Jacquemart. Fake it to Glenn, Renda back to throw, looking for the route down the sideline to Gunter, but he was covered up there by TJ Jackson.
Yeah, looking a little over the top for Blake Gunter. We've seen that a little bit, a few times this year, where he just kind of, drops over the top of the defender, but great coverage by TJ Jackson.
Jackson, a sophomore, pressed into more duty today, as we have not seen Robert White, the starting cornerback who was injured on that opening kickoff, return to the field yet. They bring the tight end in motion left to right. Some misdirection. Glenn out of the backfield across the 30, out of the tackle, the 25, and he is going to go into the end zone for the touchdown. Little, not trickeration, but some motion we haven't seen much from Carroll this year as they brought the tight end John Mark Fraga in motion across from left to right. Opened up a big hole, and Glenn takes it to the house for 6.
What blocking by Luke Wilson and Trent Wilson, the blindside brothers there. You brought Fraga in motion, almost like a split zone, but then Christian Glenn, you talk about a burst of speed, ladies and gentlemen. When he hits that hole, he can hit it. He hit that C gap and took it to the end zone. Touchdown Dragons.
So Carroll up 6-3, and the Tommy Pennington Compass Group point after try by Gavin Scrange is good. So with 10 seconds to go in the first quarter, it is Carroll 7 and Longview 3. You're listening to the 6A Division II State Semis on the Dragon Sports Network.
At AC Pros, we are a family-owned company that has been in business for 27 years in the DFW Metroplex. At AC Pros, we offer air conditioning and heating services, maintenance and sales, and we are a certified Trane dealer. Protect against the Texas heat or the cold in the winter with attic insulation, radiant barrier, or window replacement options. Contact us today for a complimentary energy analysis and air quality test. AC Pros, online at acprostx.com. Go Dragons!
10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Christian Glenn taking it to the house for Carroll to put the Dragons up 7-3 as the first quarter winds down. An 8-play, 75-yard drive that took 3:32 for Carroll. Kickoffs powered by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake, Macero, where love is always on the house. Kickoff by Strange is going to be fielded at the 3-yard line by the Lobos. It is taken across the 15, shy of the 20-yard line by TJ Jackson, the sophomore cornerback, and they will actually mark him down at the 20 with 5 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
So far, Chris, has been a great job just by the kickoff team from Southlake, getting down their initial contact and bringing down, a very potent kickoff return team of Longview, the speed they have back there.
Longview has not started a drive better than their own 20 yet today. Out of the gun, one back each side. Hamilton looks to throw, going over the middle, and it falls incomplete. This one was intended for Kiefer Doxey, the senior wide receiver.
That's the end of the first quarter.
But good coverage by Gavin Strange for the Dragons. And that allows the first quarter to come to an end. So 12 minutes in the books here at Ford Stadium on the SMU campus. And Carroll in the 6A Division II state semis, a 7-3 lead over Longview. We'll have the start of the second quarter in just a moment on the Dragon Sports Network.
Howdy, Dragon fans. This is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing. As a Southlake resident, I understand what winning teams and championships are all about. CLC Roofing is your one-stop commercial and residential roofing provider. We offer roofing, gutter, skylight, and solar options for your home. Whether you need a new roof or just a repair, contact us today to schedule your free roofing inspection. You can visit us online at clcroofing.com or contact my office directly at 817-416-ROOF. That's clcroofing.com or call us directly at 817-416-ROOF. And go Dragons, let's finish.
Start of the second quarter in the 6A Division II state semis from Ford Stadium at SMU. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton. And it will be a second down play for Longview from their own 20-yard line on the left hash. The Dragons leading 7-3. Carroll with 98 yards of total offense in the first half, just 25 for Longview. Out of the gun, Hamilton looking to throw, has a little time, looking to the near sideline, and it falls incomplete. The intended receiver was number 5, Jace Peterson, and it will now be 3rd and 10.
And Chris, I've got to question what the Lobo offense is doing right now. You're getting out of character. 2 straight passes, which isn't your strong suit. You live and die on that first and second down, creating an opportunistic third down. Again, you've got to be careful. This is where the Dragons want them in this third and longer situation.
Washington is in the game. He's in the slot right. On third down, design quarterback run. Hamilton trying to move up the middle. He's going to be hit by Davidge and brought down after a gain of a yard. He gets to the 21-yard line, but nowhere to go. And it will be punting time for the Lobos.
Chris, 3 questionable calls by the Lobo offense on that series. I don't really, kind of scratching my head a little bit, trying to understand what was the reason behind those calls. But nonetheless, great job by Davidge staying home and sniffing out that QB read and getting it.
Coming into the game today, they had only thrown it 162 times all year. Low snap, Mitchell able to get down and pick it up and gets a high spiraling kick away. Boyd back to receive now. This goes out of bounds along the Carroll sideline. It'll be on the Longview side of the field. They will put it down at the 48 or 49-yard line, but some trouble on the punt team so far for the Lobos.
You can see these special teams of Carroll just relentless, and I think it goes into the psyche a little bit of opposing teams, Chris, a little bit, is they're coming after it, and it affects the snap, it affects the punter. Almost had it there for the Dragons.
Ball at the Longview 48-yard line, so great starting field position for Carroll after a 27-yard punt. And Renda with Glenn to his left, a tight end to the right side, 2 receivers left. They give it to Glenn running up the middle on first down. Not much running room there. He gets to the 45, gain of 3.
It's just a split zone action. You have the tight end coming across on the end, and then Christian Glenn is coming up and really through the A gap there, at least picking up a manageable, 2 to 3 yards here on first down.
To make it 2, it'll be 2nd and 8. The officials on either side of the ball have not been in sync on where the play is down much of the time so far this afternoon. 2 receivers right for the Dragons, 2 tight ends to the right side. Boyd goes in motion right to left on the ball on the right hash. They fake it to Glenn. This time Renda keeps it, tried to spin out of a tackle, and was taken down by Kason Brooks. And you can see the strength there as he just grabbed onto Renda's jersey out of that spin move, and there was nowhere to go.
Yeah, we talked about Kason Brooks a lot. He's committed to Harding. You can see his speed and just his strength on the field. He can close those gaps very, very quickly for this Longview defense.
Loss of 3 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 11. Dragons leading 7-3, 10-12 to go in the second quarter. 2 receivers right for the Dragons. Boyd to the left from the Lobo 49. Renda drops back looking to throw under heavy pressure, and he's sacked back at the Carroll 40-yard line. And it was, who else? Brooks shooting right up the middle untouched to drop Renda for a big loss on the play, back 8 yards.
A great call by the Longview defense. Bringing Kason Brooks and his speed on 3rd down, comes in untouched on this Dragon offense and gets Angelo Renda down in very quickly.
So Carroll will punt it away here for the first time today. Zach Hayes is the punter. And back to receive the kick is Jackson. He calls for a fair catch just across the 15-yard line. They will mark it at about the 17. Longview will take over again after the 39-yard punt.
It looks like we're just flipping the field back and forth. It hasn't really changed for Longview on their starting position or possessions, here so far in the second quarter.
They had the one big play to Williams on the outside, but started shy of the 20-yard line every single time they've had the ball. I formation here on first down. They give it to Washington, running off right tackle. Tries to cut it back inside the numbers, hit by a number of green jerseys, and will get up to the 22-yard line, maybe about 3 or 4 yards on the play.
You're loving to see this Dragon defense, that bend but don't break mentality against the run. They're going to get the 2 to 3 yards. It's the yards after contact. And right now the Dragons are doing a good job on just keeping them down once they get to the second level.
2nd and 6 from the 22. Tight end to the left, 1 receiver each side, an I formation. Washington again, right up the middle. Falls forward a couple of yards to the 24.
It's a great job by Lucky there, just spilling it and keeping the offensive linemen in the backfield. That allows the Dragon linebackers again to play over the top and stop the big rushes.
And Longview trots on a couple of tight ends. Carroll will bring on a couple of defensive linemen in Jackson Oakley and Charlie Roberts coming into the game for Carroll as they line up 3 tight ends, I formation. They are going to fake it to Washington, roll out, thrown over the right side, and it falls incomplete as Buster Mumphrey was wide open along the right sideline, and it looked like it was on him. He just couldn't haul it in.
Well, they had the right play call, but again, Chris, this is 2 series that they've thrown 4 passes, which last game versus DeSoto, I think they threw a total of 6 passes. If you're not going to get the 3rd down, for 4 yards behind this offense has done it all year, I don't know why we're going to the drawing board and trying to put it in the air.
Mitchell to punt, a better snap this time, and he gets it away much better than last one. Boyd calls for the fair catch back to receive at the Dragon 31, and Carroll will have it there. So Boyd returning punts now with Parker Harris going out earlier after chasing down Demarion Williams with a touchdown-saving tackle. 45-yard punt, a good one that time from Mitchell, and Carroll will take over once again.
Yeah, you're talking about opportunistic. This is the second time you forced this quarter a Longview offense into a punting situation. If you're this Dragon offense, you played it a little conservative there on the last drive. You just keep opening it up a little bit and attacking this defense because they have the speed and talent in the middle, and those linebackers got to get them on the edge just a little bit here.
7:46 to go in the second quarter. Carroll leading 7-3. 6A Division II state semis. Two receivers to the right on 1st and 10 from the Dragon 31. Jacquemart in motion left to right. Renda takes the snap, gets it out to Boyd with some running room across the 40 along the near sideline. Will step out of bounds at the 42.
What a great job on bringing Boyd in motion. And then you have Jacquemart on the perimeter there. Great block by Jacquemart, really springing Boyd there past the first down marker. And that's what the Dragons offense has to do. Take away the speed in the middle, get it on the perimeter, and attack these young corners.
Actually gave him the 43, plenty for the first down. 1st and 10 from there on the right hash. Two receivers left, one to the right. Tight end to the left side of the formation with Glenn to Renda's right in the backfield. Just those 6 guys in the box for the Lobos, as has been the case all day. And Renda takes the snap, gives it to Glenn, trying to bounce it outside. Gets outside the numbers along the far sideline. He's got running room inside the 30, inside the 25, and finally pushed out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Christian Glenn gets outside and shows that speed for the second time today. A gain of 34.
The speed and burst by Christian Glenn. His patience just running to the outside, allowing it to develop. He kept pushing in and pushing to the sideline, got the edge, and almost had it for 6. Tremendous job by Christian Glenn.
1st and 10 inside the 25 for the Dragons. Ball is at the left hash. 2 receivers to each side for Carroll. Glenn to Renda's right. Trying to spread out this Longview defense a little bit. They give it to Glenn again, trying to get outside. He is going to be hit and dropped after a gain of a yard. Jemias Morrow on the stop, junior linebacker.
Again, Southlake trying to hit a little inside zone, try to cut it there in the backside. Great job by Morrow on Longview making that stop.
Glenn already up to 5 carries for 80 yards today with that touchdown. Knowles comes off the field in favor of an extra tight end for the Dragons here. Tight end to the right side. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Bring Gunter in motion from the slot left. Renda gets out behind him running the ball, tiptoeing along the line of scrimmage before he is finally chased down by one of those defensive linemen, Tyson Johnson, the sophomore, on the stop.
They're keeping it on the ground for Renda off the right. Space just wasn't there, collapsed pretty quickly there on the right side. Again, big down for the Dragons.
Loss of 1 on the play, and it will be 3rd and 10 from the Lobos 23. Last time Carroll was in a 3rd and long, they brought Brooks on the blitz right up the middle. This time they're probably in field goal range for Strange. Careful not to lose any yardage here. 2 receivers stacked on each side, ball on the left hash. Glenn moves over to Renda's left. He motions out that way, and Riley Dodge wants to use a timeout.
Timeout, Southlake Carroll. It's their 2nd timeout of the half.
Dodge will take the timeout, and so will we. With 6:05 to go in the second quarter, it's Carroll 7 and Longview 3 in the 6A Division II state semis on the Dragon Sports Network.
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Macero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso-craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Macero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
Dragons use their second time out of the half before a 3rd and 10 play from the Longview 23-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Gunter lined up off the hip of the left tackle. Glenn motions out to the right side. Renda drops back to pass. Has some time, throws it up, looking for Boyd, and it is broken up. Brian Peoples, the senior safety, in coverage on Boyd.
Good coverage by Longview. It looked like he had Jackmar there on the left side, but again, a quick read by Renda trying to deliver a strike over to Boyd.
And now the kicking team will come on for the Dragons. Gavin Strange out for the field goal try of 40 yards. He's 5 of 7 on the year, as long as 43. This one from the right hash. The tee is at the 30. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good from 40 yards with plenty on it from Gavin Strange to extend this Dragon lead with 5:57 to go in the second quarter. It's Carroll 10 and Longview 3 on the Dragon Sports Network.
This time of year, we're all looking for something, but what we really need won't be found under any tree, and it can't be bought for any price. What we're looking for is love, and hope and peace and joy. What we're looking for is a place to belong in and a place to believe, a place where miracles still happen. This Christmas, we invite you to find your home at White's Chapel during one of our 7 candlelight Christmas Eve services. Join us as we celebrate the birth of our Savior and the hope of the world.
Dragons now lead by 7, 10-3 after the Gavin Strange field goal. Caps a 6-play, 46-yard drive that took 1:46 off the clock. Kickoff's powered by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. So Kelvin Washington and TJ Jackson back to receive this kickoff from Gavin Strange. It's high end over end, going to be returnable, bounces at the goal line and picked up by Jackson. He's dancing around at the 5, looking for some running room and going to be brought down inside the 10. Taken down at the 6-yard line by the Dragons, and the 2 returners for the Lobos thought that was going into the end zone, but Strange had it bounce right on the goal line, and it took a bounce into the field of play.
Chris, one of the leading MVPs of the game so far is this Dragon kickoff team. They've done a tremendous job, and what a kick. Bouncing there right on the goal line and back in play for the Dragons, confusing Longview. I mean, you're putting Longview in tough situations. You're essentially forcing them now go 94 yards to a touchdown.
Here's the drive start yard lines for the Lobos. It's on first down. They give it to Washington going up the middle. He surges forward across the 10-yard line to about the 11. They've started at the 17, the 32, or the 17, the 15, the 20, the 18, and now the 6.
Those are pretty good. If you're looking at where to start, where you would like the opposing offense to start, those are some pretty good yard markers to start at.
So 2nd and 5 at their own 11. I formation, 1 receiver to the left. That's Doxey. They give it to Mumphrey running up the middle, still on his feet for a couple of yards before the pile is pushed backwards.
That starts up front with Jake Lucky. He's that shade technique, and he's creating a pile there for the Dragon linebackers to come over top and making big stops. Great awareness by this Dragon defense.
We'll see what they do here on 3rd and 4. They've gone to the air on 3rd down a lot. Even when they brought in the jumbo package on the last 3rd down play. This time that normal I formation with 1 receiver to the left. They give it to Washington, running behind the left guard, plows forward and has the first down across the 20 or the 16-yard line.
You run this power game, Chris, and it's just like these little mini cuts that you hope it don't open up too big on this defense. And so far, the Dragon defense, yes, they're giving up a little bit on these power plays, but they're not giving up the home run.
Gain of 4 to move the sticks up to the 17. 1 receiver left, I formation. Washington again, this time behind right guard, trying to cut it back, but was hit hard and brought down at the 20-yard line after a gain of 4.
A great hit by Parker Harris coming up. They're in the secondary, delivered a big hit on Washington.
Washington, not a huge back. But as you've said, when he gets in open field, has plenty of speed. But Carroll hasn't let him find a lot of green space so far this afternoon. Out of the gun this time. One back to each side of Hamilton. 2 receivers left. He takes the snap, looks to throw. Has time, goes left side, incomplete. Maybe a little bit low for Williams, but it looked catchable. But just a drop there.
Again, you're putting pressure on Hamilton, the sophomore QB, to make these throws, and I'm not sure what their throw count is already today, but it's quite a bit. And you can see they're a little off just a little bit on this timing of the routes. It's not something they do a lot. And throwing right in between Dragon defenders, you stick to what you can do, which is run the ball, and you do it effectively.
2 of 5 today is Hamilton, and our statistician Scott Farrell counts 3 drops so far for the Lobo receivers. 3rd down and 6. Hamilton will throw again. Pressure coming from the backside. Completes this one at the 30-yard line. And out of bounds goes the receiver, Kiefer Doxey, forced out by Gavin Strange, but it will be a first down.
Again, putting me on the spot with Hamilton now delivers a strike the following play. But again, a good connection there by Hamilton. But relentless pressure by Zach Hayes on the edge was about 1 step away from making that sack.
So a new set of downs at the 30. I don't think the sun is a factor. I don't think it's late enough in the day yet for that. This field is set up to run north-south. The sun sets to our backs along the home sideline on the west side of the stadium. On first down, Hamilton will throw again. Has some time and throws incomplete. Had Murphy waiting for it in the flat, and it was just too low.
Hamilton in this Longview offense, they're waiting to see, what the Dragon corners here are doing. Are they going to take the slant route, or are they going to take the player coming out in the flats, and they're trying to catch the Dragons in no man's land? But regardless, Hamilton has got to deliver a strike. There's 2 low balls on this series so far.
Washington has also not been out there on every snap offensively for the Lobos. So they give it to Mumphrey on 2nd down, running outside, has some room across the 40. He's got a first down and more across midfield before he is finally bumped out of bounds by Strange. Gain of 21 for the fullback, Buster Mumphrey.
Yeah, as you talk about Washington not being, Mumphrey hits their biggest run of the day so far. And again, we're talking about these little fits on the defense. You have one wrong fit, it can actually bump it outside, and Mumphrey did a great job on finding his fit, getting outside, and getting into the back end of the Dragons defense.
So first down at the Dragon 49 with 2:52 to go in the second quarter. Washington back into the game now. They're in the I formation. Tight end each side. Doxey, the lone receiver, to the left. They fake it to Washington. Hamilton looking to throw. Under pressure, going deep down the left side for Doxey, and overthrows him across the 20-yard line. So Hamilton took a lick as he released the ball. A little bit slow getting up now.
It was a big hit by Jake Lucky. He doesn't take a lot of hits as a quarterback sitting there in the pockets. They just don't throw a lot. But they're really trying to go there. They're seeing something in this Dragon defense that they feel they can get some one-to-one matchups and try to catch the Dragon defense sleeping at times. But you've also got to deliver the pass.
But Washington again heads off the field, and Carroll puts on another defensive back. They come out with 2 receivers left.
Timeout, Longview. It's their 2nd timeout of the half.
Longview will use its 2nd timeout here with 2:47 to go, and Shirley would love to hang on to the ball for the end of the second quarter. We'll take it as well. 2:47 to go in the second. Carroll 10, Longview 3 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, offering dependable nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks, so you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to in your area, minus the leftist propaganda. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. Keep your phone and keep your number, too. Just go to patriotmobile.com/dragons or call 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code DRAGONS.
Out of the timeout, it'll be 2nd and 10 from the Carroll 49 for Longview. Tight end goes right to left. Hamilton out of the gun. Takes the snap, rolls to his left. Now they try to set up the screen, throwing behind him. Mumphrey with some running room along the far sideline inside the 25, across the 20, and bumped out of bounds by Ethan Fisher inside the 10-yard line. Gain of 40 yards for Buster Mumphrey on the screen set up out of the backfield.
A big-time play by Longview and just using the Dragons' aggression against them. Great screen pass to the other side of the field, hitting Mumphrey there, and what a great job by Mumphrey. There wasn't a Dragon in sight.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the 10. Extra defensive lineman into the game for the Dragons now is Jackson Oakley. So they come out of the gun, 2 backs, 1 to each side. Mumphrey gets it again, running behind some blockers, outside the numbers, inside the 5, and he is tripped up there at the 4.
Big play by Charlie Roberts, just an ankle-grabbing tackle, saving a touchdown, for the Dragons. But you're seeing a little bit of something with Mumphrey here in the game, taking more of the snaps at running back versus Washington.
And Mumphrey has touched the ball a lot for the Lobos here in the second quarter. 5 touches here in this quarter for Mumphrey, but he is on the sideline. Or no, he is in the huddle for this snap. Hamilton having trouble getting the play call in. Clock down to 6. They don't want to use the timeout. They're going to have to. Down to 3, down to 2.
Timeout, Longview. It's their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Well, Hamilton having trouble getting the play call in from the sideline, and John King forced to use his final timeout. We will take it as well. 1:50 to go in the second quarter. It's Carroll 10 and Longview 3 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whites Chapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
So it has been Buster Mumphrey, not Kelvin Washington, with the bulk of the yardage for the Lobos today. He's got 6 touches for 72 yards so far this afternoon. And the Lobos have a 2nd and goal play coming up here from the 4-yard line with 1:50 to go before halftime. Carroll trying to hold them and keep it a 7-point game. Hamilton out of the gun. Mumphrey and Washington, 1 to each side. They take the snap, give it to Washington. Or no, Hamilton kept it, goes up the middle to the 2, and he is brought down there after a gain of 2.
And you'll see this, Longview loves to keep it in Hamilton's hands. Once they get inside the 10, he's a bigger body quarterback, and they'll lean on him a little bit just by his stature, he can fall and get a little more yards than normal.
He had 6 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown last week. 3rd and goal from the 2. Hamilton gives it to Washington, trying to get in on the right side. He's going to be stopped at the 1. Took it outside the tackle box and got a yard on the play. It'll be 4th and goal from the 1. Looks like they're going for it.
It's a big play call by Longview here.
Fans on their feet on both sides of the stadium. 1 running back each side. Washington. No, Carroll called the timeout first. The Dragons had him stopped on 4th down.
Southlake called timeout before the snap. It's their 3rd and final timeout.
Riley Dodge wanted to talk about it before that 4th down play. So 1 more timeout before this play. A minute to go in the first half. Carroll 10, Longview 3 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
Riley Dodge uses his final timeout before a 4th and goal play from the 1-yard line. Longview coming out to go for it to try to tie this game at 10. Both coaches out of timeouts here in the first half. I formation now. Washington behind Mumphrey in the backfield. Tight end set. They snap it to the quarterback, Hamilton. He surges up the middle, and he is across the goal line into the end zone for a touchdown. So they gave it to Washington on the 4th down play that was stopped because the Dragons called a timeout. This time around, Hamilton keeps it himself and gets up the middle into the end zone for 6.
Big play by Longview again, rolling the dice on 4th down. You know, they do tend sometimes to get behind the center and do the QB sneak. It looked like it was mere inches, Chris, that they crossed the goal line on that one.
It is now 10-9 Dragons, and Alexander Mitchell on for the point after try out of the hold of Maverick Rowe. Snap is down, the kick is up, and the PAT is good. With 54 seconds to go in the first half, we are tied at 10 in the 6A Division II state semis on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
Kickoff's powered by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. Longview, a 14-play, 94-yard drive that took 4 minutes and 58 seconds and ended with a 1-yard Johnny Hamilton touchdown run to tie this game at 10. Kickoff is going to be let bounce by the Dragons at the 1-yard line and into the end zone for a touchback. A little bit of a risk after Longview tried it last kickoff and saw it bounce back into the field of play.
You talk about, momentum for, Longview going, seemingly, 94 yards, one end to the other end and eating up the clock and getting a touchdown, which they had to do. They know that Riley and the Dragons are going to get the ball at halftime. They need to get some points on the board. They just don't want to get into a track meet with the Dragons here. But a great execution for Longview on that offensive drive.
75 yards for the Dragons, but no timeouts in 54 seconds. They send Gunter from left to right, throw it to Boyd on the little wide receiver screen. He goes across the sideline out of bounds to stop the clock at the 29, a gain of 4.
Again, this is the third or fourth time we see Boyd just kind of pop back out there on the perimeter, and they're trying to do a little pick play for him, getting it upfield and trying to get some of the speed out here that's in the middle and try to get them on the edge a little bit for this Dragon offense.
Dragons haven't completed a ton of passes today. Brenda, 5 of 9, 53 yards. Carroll also hasn't had the ball a ton. These Longview drives have been long. They've had 2 that are nearly 5 minutes. 2nd and 6. Give it to Glenn. Running up the middle, makes a couple of cuts across the 35 But again, Carroll has no timeouts. They will spot him at the 37.
Got to get the tempo, got to get him up and down. See if you can try to get some points here by half.
Strange has plenty of leg. 2 receivers each side. His long on the year is 43. Glenn motions out of the backfield. And there is a Longview player down along the far sideline. They blew the play dead. Riley Dodge not happy about this one.
Well, you can hear the Carroll fans too booing as well. As did they drop down, or was there actually some type of cramp or some type of injury on that Longview side? Nonetheless, it stops the clocks and allows the Carroll offense to regain a little bit.
Let's the Dragon offense get in a play call as well here before the ball is snapped. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 37 as they are helping Jamias Morrow off the field now along that far sideline. Not a guy that they want to be without, one of their better defenders, 133 tackles on the year coming in. So 1st and 10, 2 receivers each side for the Dragons. Glenn to Renda's right. Glenn motions out to the right. Renda takes the snap, throws into the flat for Boyd again. Doesn't have much blocking out in front of him and will step out of bounds after a gain of 1 at the 38.
Again, try and get these little quick outs, get to the sideline, get out of bounds, save some time. Again, Riley's thought process here, you get across the 50, get in a little field goal range, get some points on the board before the end of half is ideally for this Dragon offense.
2nd and 9 at the 38. Ball on the right hash, same formation. 2 receivers each side with Glenn in the backfield. This time it's Gunter moving right to left across the set for the Dragons. Renda takes the snap, looking to throw under pressure, and he is going to be sacked behind the line of scrimmage by DeKayla Nelson, the senior defensive tackle, getting in there to bring him down for the loss. That's a loss of 5, and after that, Riley Dodge is just going to go ahead and let the clock expire here in the first half. So maybe not the kind of offense we expected to see in this one. A couple of teams that have been putting up some points in the playoffs, but held to just 20 total here over the first 24 minutes.
Yeah, it's been a seesaw matchup back and forth. There's been opportunistic on the Lobo defense on getting an interception. The Dragon defense has held Longview, forced them into passing situation, which isn't their forte. And I think ultimately, this is kind of shaken out as a really 2 teams that are probably pretty equally matched, who are playing at the same speed. It's going to be an exciting second half.
Well, coming up, we will have the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. We're going to be joined by former Dragons now playing at the collegiate level, Caden Anderson and Owen Allen. The score at the half, the Dragons 10 and the Lobos 10 in the 6A Division II State Semifinals on the Dragon Sports Network.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons.
Dr. Angela Bowers would like to invite you to visit Southlake Dermatology, which serves patients throughout the Metroplex in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. We recommend always using a zinc oxide sunscreen, such as Elta MD, and utilizing HelioCare, which is a sun protective pill. We have seen the incidence of skin cancers on the rise, including melanoma, which is the most harmful type. With yearly skin checks, we will be able to find skin cancer much earlier. Read about skin cancer and sunscreen options online at southlakedermatology.com.
Hello, Dragon fans. I'm Steven Nelson, partner at Mills Wealth. Our team is celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping Dragons succeed financially. As an independent firm, we aren't owned by a bank or an insurance company. Instead, we're fiduciaries doing only what we believe is best for our clients. If your finances need a second opinion or would like to tap into our expertise, come meet with our certified financial planners or CPAs and learn how we can help you win just like the Dragons. Look us up online or give us a call at millswealthadvisors.com.
This time of year, we're all looking for something, but what we really need won't be found under any tree, and it can't be bought for any price. What we're looking for is love, and hope and peace and joy. What we're looking for is a place to belong in and a place to believe, a place where miracles still happen. This Christmas, we invite you to find your home at White's Chapel during one of our 7 candlelight Christmas Eve services. Join us as we celebrate the birth of our Savior and the hope of the world.
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Macero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso-craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Macero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
Welcome into the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. Carroll and Longview tied at 10 here at the half. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you. The winner of this one will take on the winner of Humble Summer Creek and Austin Vandegrift. That one won't be played until 7 o'clock tonight down at McLean Stadium in Waco. So the winner of this one will be waiting a few hours to find out who the next opponent is. But in the meantime, here in the booth at the half, we are joined by a couple of former Dragons. Quarterback Caden Anderson, now at the University of Wyoming, and running back Owen Allen, Carroll's all-time leading rusher, now at Air Force. Guys, thanks for making the time.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having us.
You were able to manage making your way up here.
Yeah, y'all made it easy enough. We had to leave the car running and get dropped off. But yeah, we're glad we could be here.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. And anyone listening at home who need a little reintroduction of these two gentlemen. Caden Anderson, star quarterback here at Carroll. If you know anything about the program the last 10 years, just an incredible talent. He took his talents to Wyoming and he took over the starting spot this year. Had a great season. And then Owen Allen, all-time leading rusher in Southlake Carroll history. He's now playing for Air Force. It was exciting, Owen, because I got to coach with your dad. With Dragon Youth football this year, and we would go back and forth and talk about, who you're playing this week. And I remember the night you scored your touchdown. He was pretty excited. It was pretty awesome. So guys, welcome, and thanks for coming back. It means a lot to have, guys who've done it before and now doing it more now in the next level. So, to start out with, maybe talk a little bit about, what you're doing now and how the season went.
Yeah. I think, just a lot of great memories playing Dragon Ball, and, we're really blessed just to be playing at the next level. And, we had a lot of great opportunities this year at the University of Wyoming, and, I was just extremely blessed to, take over that role of the starting spot towards the end of the year. And, we didn't have the season we wanted to, but I know next year, Wyoming will be back for sure. So.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like he said, I think coming from a place like this, it always helps, at the next level. Namely what comes to mind is just overcoming adversity throughout the season. That's something we learn here and we're able to adapt to at Southlake and taking it to the next level. Air Force having the start to the season, losing 7 in a row there, obviously not how you want a season to be going after losing a bunch of seniors last year, and being able to kind of adapt on the fly and finish the season 4-0, which leaves us having a pretty good feeling for next season going forward. And I think a lot of that can be attributed to our time here.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and you're both technically redshirt freshmen, right?
Yes.
So, the perspective out there in the audience listening, how difficult it is to play as a redshirt freshman and then play at a high level, and you're doing it at the highest level, which is pretty incredible. You talked a little bit about the impact on being a Dragon. And obviously, Owen, probably two different offenses that you came from Southlake and then the Air Force.
Definitely.
It came probably a little similar. I mean, probably a few different wrinkles.
Yeah, for sure.
But tell me, what has it been like, just the difference from the high school level to the college level for the young guys listening out there? Because they all have dreams to play, but sometimes they don't really know what it takes, what that daily grind is all about, because it's different at the college level.
Oh, it is. That daily grind for sure is different. I think it's more of a job in college, and you really got to love it. And, I'm very fortunate to love this game and love this sport. I think the biggest difference for me was just the speed of the game is just so much faster in college. And I think what really helped me was when I first got to Wyoming, my redshirt year, I ran scout team. And going against the starting defense, that was just, it really helped me out, pick up the pace of the game and really pick it up that way. So, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, freshman year, last year, running scout team, that's something I didn't even think of. You got guys that you're practicing with as a, 18, 19-year-old that are playing in the league now, and to look back and reflect and just see how that really polishes you as a player. Getting into games, when you see those bigger bodies, those harder tackles, bigger collisions, and ultimately just like Hayden was saying, the speed of the game, those holes open and close, quicker than they did here. And I found myself missing those O-lines that I played with here and the time I had to make the reads. But
shout out O-lineman, Carroll, if you're listening.
Always. But, so I'd say that's probably been the biggest change from high school to now.
Well, awesome. You talk about the change. What I always like to tell people who want to play college is, it's one say it's a grind and it's like a job, but to really talk about what is it like? What's your daily schedule? When I used to tell my daily schedule in college, people look at me like, I'm not sure I really want to do that. But give a little perspective to the audience, kind of, what time your day starts, what time it ends, and do you have any free time?
I'm sure my schedule looks a little different than his.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but you get up at 8 a.m., go to breakfast, and then during the season we have a little window for class. And you go to class, and then around noon, that's when meetings start and everything gets rolling there, and then you're at the facility from noon until about 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and then
you got study hall, and then you got to go eat. You got to get fed, and then you got to take a shower.
Yeah, exactly.
So what about what's yours like? Oh, I know yours is different. I'm always curious. What's the day like?
Almost identical to Wyoming, I'm sure. But typically starts off about waking up 6 a.m. and you'll normally have either some kind of military training or some formation you got to be at. It starts about 7 a.m. and then that runs right up until first class of the day, starting at 8 a.m. And you'll go, classes are blocked off for us football players up until about noon, where you have your second formation of the day, march to lunch, get some food in you real quick, and then from there, you get down to the facility, get your ankles taped, get treatment, and then, from lift to practice to meetings to more treatment, and then, like you said, showering and getting food in you. It's every bit the same of, you're down there 8 hours a day, and I can imagine, Caden will tell you this too, like our bodies aren't as fine-tuned as they were in high school, so you got to take a little extra care of them, which is just more time out of the day. But it's like Caden said, it's a job.
You guys just wait a few more years.
It only gets better.
I believe it.
Talking kind of going back to your Dragon years, so give me some great memories you had as a Dragon.
Yeah, I think probably my favorite game, best memory I had was it was third round my our junior year. We were playing Louisville, and I remember Louisville, I believe they were undefeated that year, and they were just this powerhouse, quote unquote, and they came out all cocky. They had some really big dudes, big linemen. They had a stud running back, a couple stud receivers, some stud guys on defense, and I remember we came out there first drive, scored the first drive, and they didn't score. We ended up winning that game 52-0.
Wow.
So that game was a very surreal feeling, and going out there and getting after them a little bit was probably one of my favorite games for sure.
Yeah.
Mine's got to be Duncanville.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
If you didn't say that, I was going to say something.
I was going to say, I feel like that one could have been expected, but no, just the stage, the stadium, the crowd of that game, and just the stakes that you're playing at. You've got, guys built like, semi-trucks committed to Alabama lined up across the line from you, and to be able to perform. And not a knock on our passing game, but to see the rushing game flourish, that day did behind those big boys up front, that was without a doubt the most just fun and just the most unbelievable experience I could have had in my years playing here.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, it feels like in a lot of playoff games, especially in the later rounds, despite Carroll's, history of winning state titles and things like that, once you get into the later rounds, a lot of times leading up to the game, there's a lot of, well, this might be the week they lose. How do you use that when you're a Dragon that kind of help motivate you? Because after the first couple of rounds, it seems to be kind of in the background on a pretty regular basis.
Well, and I think, too, Chris, managing the expectations.
Right.
It's state championship or bust feeling every single year. So with all that, Chris, how do y'all manage it? How did y'all manage that?
Yeah, I think, it depends on the player, how you want to, utilize that. I think, there are certain times throughout the week when you're preparing that you've got to treat it it's just noise. That noise is always going to be there, and you can't let it affect how you prepare mentally and physically for your game. That being said, though, if you can use that, especially like in a leadership role for this team, if you see that as a, mode to light a fire under the guys and get them fired up, I think that's the trick, is knowing when to tune in and use that to your advantage and when just to cancel it out altogether.
Oh, for sure. I agree with that. I think for sure, you cancel the outside noise for sure. And when you go out on the field, you cancel the outside noise. It's just you guys out there playing. But like Owen said, if you can use that as fuel, I know Coach Dodge definitely does. Because, when we were playing high school, we weren't the biggest guys, but, we were very fundamentally sound, and that's how we executed and won games, So I think if I know Coach Dodge uses it as fuel for sure, and get the guys kind of fired up about that, and for sure you can use it as fuel.
Yeah, awesome. Definitely. All right, so some quick hitters, real quick.
Yeah.
Coolest stadium you played in?
The coolest stadium I played in was probably Arizona State. That stadium was rocking. Awesome. That was a season opener. That stadium was rocking.
We talking college or high school?
College, right now.
College, got to be college. Okay. I think, and I'm not just boosting Caden here, I think it's got to be War Memorial Stadium in Laramie. That place is
pretty incredible.
No matter the game, no matter the record of either team, I think when we played, Wyoming was 0-4 and Air Force was 1-3, and you would have thought it was, the national championship. Just the way those fans come out, and and it being so close to Air Force, our fans are able to travel well to that game.
Sounds like a recruiting pitch to go to Wyoming.
Exactly.
So everyone listening, we're going to be Cowboys.
I'm trying to sell it on.
But no, the energy in that stadium, the animosity of the fans coming in on the bus, it fires you up. But that was probably the coolest stadium. Yeah.
Awesome.
Were you going to go high school? Was there another one you were about to say?
Well, I was thinking back. I always loved playing in that old Globe Life Stadium. I think, you looking back to our sophomore year, it was COVID year. I think we played the state game halfway through January. But I think it was we went on a run there where I think it was, let's see if I can remember, it was Arlington Martin and then Euless Trinity and then Duncanville winning back to back to back. Just against like schools like that, so we always had some good mojo in that stadium. So that was a cool one as well.
Awesome. What are y'all majoring in?
I'm majoring in communications.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm management. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
So you're going to be a boss, and you're going to be the seller and the talker, right?
That's right.
All right.
Talk a little bit. So.
Well, good. Well,
definitely.
Good. All
right. Quickly, as we get closer to the end of halftime here, what have you guys? Obviously, you have very busy schedules, but what have you seen from this Dragons team, and what have you seen this afternoon against Longview?
Yeah, no, I'm rooting for the guys, man. I hope this year they can get it. It's 10-10 right now, and I know Coach Dodge is in there firing the boys up, and I really hope these guys can do it. This is Coach Dodge always said it's a very surreal feeling to hold up that trophy at State at AT&T Stadium, and I hope they do it, man. As I'm rooting for them, and I think they can do it. They got Renda, he's a great quarterback. They got some athletes at receiver. I know they got a really fundamentally sound defense. So I think they win this game. I think they got it for sure.
Definitely, like Caden said, I mean, I'm rooting for our guys 100%. And I think the thing about this team that, really has been able to carry them this far, and, I think it's kind of a trademark for Southlake teams, past and present, just the leadership, from the players. It's a player-led team. From a running back standpoint, the guys I'm still in touch with, losing Riley Wormley and Davis Penn earlier this year, that can't have been easy. And I know it was definitely a loss of talent there, but just seeing the way like Glenn has stepped up in the backfield and just knowing those guys, like knowing that they're still so attentive to this team and being able to lead even when, because I know it's killing them that they can't be out on that field right now. And just to, see that leadership and see them out on the sidelines, picking guys up, hyping up the boys as if they were still healthy and playing. I think that's the difference between championship winning teams and losing teams. So,
for sure.
I'm rooting for the boys in green today.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, thank you.
Make sure we clarify. There's a lot of green out there.
Longview is wearing white today. Just for everyone listening in.
The Kelly green, the brighter green.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The better looking green.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, gentlemen, I just want to say thank you for taking some time, especially on your Saturday. You just got done with finals. You've rushed back in town. You rushed up here to be part of the Dragons semifinal game and be here in the booth. From Dragons here, we're very proud of you. Keep doing. There's a lot of kids that look up to you. And so, again, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Caden Anderson and Owen Allen joining us at halftime in the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. Carroll and Longview tied at 10 in the 6A Division II state semis. We'll have a little bit more here on halftime, run through some of the first half stats, and get Robert's thoughts on the first half after this on the Dragon Sports Network.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whites Chapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
At AC Pros, we are a family-owned company that has been in business for 27 years in the DFW Metroplex. At AC Pros, we offer air conditioning and heating services, maintenance and sales, and we are a certified Trane dealer. Protect against the Texas heat or the cold in the winter with attic insulation, radiant barrier, or window replacement options. Contact us today for a complimentary energy analysis and air quality test. AC Pros, online at acprostx.com. Go Dragons!
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, offering dependable nationwide coverage on all three major networks, so you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to in your area, minus the leftist propaganda. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. Keep your phone and keep your number, too. Just go to patriotmobile.com/dragons or call 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code DRAGONS.
The Dragon Den is your home for the best selection of Dragon fan gear in town. We offer many styles and sizes, and we're your Dragon Hat headquarters. 100% of your purchase supports our student athletes in UIL sports grades 7 through 12. We're open weekly during all home football games and most Tuesdays and Fridays 11 to 2. We're everything Dragon. Interested in volunteering with us? We need adult and high school volunteers to work during hours we are open. That's the Dragon Den at Dragon Stadium. Go Dragons!
Feed Store Barbecue halftime show continues from Ford Stadium at SMU. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton as the Emerald Bells performing their Christmas routine at midfield right now. This one tied at 10. We have time here to look through Scott Farrell's first half stats. And
it looks like the beautiful mind writing his writing. I feel like it should be on the window over here. Pretty in-depth stuff over there, Chris.
It's a lot. But total yards, not crazy for either team. 189 for Longview, 143 for Carroll. Half of Longview's 189 yards came on that one drive where they started at the 6 and went 94 yards for a touchdown. 66 on the ground, 125 through the air for the Lobos. Uncharacteristic of this team.
Well, 65 plus of that was for one play. And, I think we've seen a few different things with the Lobos. In the second half, we'll talk a little bit before we start the game. But yeah, a little uncharacteristic.
For Carroll, 89 on the ground, 54 through the air, each team with 8 first downs. Carroll 2 penalties for 10 yards in the first half, Longview 1 for 5. Dragons just 1 of 3 on third down. Didn't face a lot of third downs. Longview 4 of 9. From an individual standpoint, for the Dragons at quarterback, Angelo Renda, 6 of 10 for 54 yards and an interception. On the ground, Christian Glenn, 6 carries, 88 yards and the touchdown. Luke Jacquemart, 2 receptions for 13 yards. Brock Boyd, 4 for 25, 1 for Blake Gunter and 1 for Glenn. And then for Longview, the quarterback, Johnny Hamilton, 5 of 11. No touchdowns, no interceptions, but he did have the 1 rushing touchdown. On the ground, Dragons have held Kelvin Washington in check, 12 carries for just 38 yards.
Yep. We saw later in the second half, Mumphrey starting to get more handles. And so it's interesting to see how that's going to play out here in the second half, Chris. If they're going to move maybe Washington more out to the perimeter and allow Mumphrey a little bit, I don't know.
Mumphrey had 6 touches, 5 on the ground for 34 yards and 1 reception for 39 yards. And then you mentioned that 165-yard play to Demarion Williams. He had 2 catches for 76 yards in the first half. So that's a look at some of the numbers from the first half. We will take a quick break, and when we return, we will have the opening kickoff of the third quarter. 10-10 the score at the break. Wraps up the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, did you hear? Somebody didn't want Feed Store Barbecue. That's right, it's true. One fella the other day, he wanted Feed Store chicken fried steak, and another asked for a Feed Store hamburger. And one scamp, well, he even had the nerve to ask for Feed Store burn-ins. Yeah, Feed Store is famous for its barbecue, but there's so much more. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Hey Dragon Nation, it's Tommy Pennington with the Tommy Pennington Realty Group at Compass. Like you, I'm fired up about supporting my Carroll Dragons each year on and off the field. We want the best for our kids, and that's why we're all Dragons. I'm a longtime Southlake resident that knows the real estate market and knows how to get great results. Like your kids, you deserve the best too. Call us today at 817-416-9000. Check us out on the web 24/7 at calltommy.com. So from my Dragon family to yours,
calltommy.com. Go Dragons!
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Hey Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, we truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Howdy, Dragon fans. This is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing. As a Southlake resident, I understand what winning teams and championships are all about. CLC Roofing is your one-stop commercial and residential roofing provider. We offer roofing, gutter, skylight, and solar options for your home. Whether you need a new roof or just a repair, contact us today to schedule your free roofing inspection. You can visit us online at clcroofing.com or contact my office directly at 817-416-ROOF. That's clcroofing.com or call us directly at 817-416-ROOF. And go Dragons, let's finish.
All right, welcome back, Dragon fans. Robert Clayton here with Chris Blake as the Carroll band finishes up on the field.
Nice job, Robert.
Oh, hey, Chris.
How's it going?
Good.
I check 1, 2, 3.
How's it going, Bill? It's Bill Theodore, the referee, joining us by voice here in the booth. That microphone check down on the field. 10-10 the score at the half between Carroll and Longview. Teams about set to retake the field here at Ford Stadium at SMU. Shadows starting to creep onto the field here as well. Does that become a factor in any way this time of day?
Well, I think you can look at the corner of the fields there. I don't think it's that bad, Chris, but you never know. I don't think it's I don't think there's a dark spot on the field, so to speak.
The stadium here at SMU, I hadn't been here in a while. This is the first time I'd been here since they had built up the south end zone.
This is foreign territory for you right now.
It is. It is. A little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a little weird, huh? But yeah. red and blue looks good on you.
Well, I'm wearing white and green, so
blue jeans look good.
But they've built up the south end zone a couple of years ago, surrounding the entire stadium with seats here at Ford Stadium. Mustangs, of course, onto the CFP. Will play a game in the college football playoff later in December. It's the Dragons retaking the field as well. And we are just about set to get started here in the third quarter. Carroll will get the ball first. Remember, the winner of this game will take on the winner of Humble Summer Creek and Austin Vandegrift next weekend for the state title. That game is being played later tonight at McLean Stadium down at Baylor. And in 6A Division I, maybe a game that is more anticipation than any all season long. Top two teams in the state at 6A, Duncanville and North Crowley, facing off the state semifinal in Allen today. North Crowley leading that one 13-0 in the first 15-0, late in the first half. So something to keep an eye on there. Winner of that one takes on winner of North Shore and Westlake. Other games at the 5A level are done last night. The 5A Division I, Highland Park beat Denton Ryan 24-21 on a 28-yard field goal with 6 seconds left to lift the Scots. First title game for Highland Park since 2018. And then here last night, South Oak Cliff beat Argyle 37-3 at the 5A Division II level. 10-10 the score as we get started here in the third quarter. Longview will kick it away, powered by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. Third quarter is underway. Luke Jacquemart fields it at the 3. Running across the numbers, big hit as he crossed the 15-yard line by the Longview kick coverage team, and Carroll will start at its own 17-yard line.
Yeah, I think like any Carroll offense starting here in the second half, obviously our main goal is here, hey, we got to get some points on the board, but also their end is establish the run game, open up the passing game a little bit, and get Brenda going just a little bit, either, on the short intermediate pass throws to Boyd and Gunter, or get him out in space and run a little bit, Chris.
But Carroll in the first half, 143 yards of offense as they look to build on that here with 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Ball on the left hash mark. First down at their own 17. Carroll in the green jerseys, black pants this afternoon. Longview in all white today. Renda takes the snap out of the gun, looking to throw on first down, throws it down the left sideline, and it's intercepted. Looking for Brock Boyd, but Decaden Carter, the junior quarterback, able to get in front of Boyd, go up and pick it off. And just like that, Carroll getting the ball first in the third quarter is flipped on its head.
Yeah, Angelo sat back and let it float just a little bit. Heads up play by Decaden Carter there, coming in with the big INT. Again, flipping momentum now to Longview.
Second interception today by this Lobo defense. And this is going to be the best starting field position of the afternoon for the Lobos in Carroll territory at the 48-yard line. They give it to Washington on first down. Gets outside the numbers across the 40, 35, and out of bounds. He goes to the 30. And that's a big first down run for Kelvin Washington, his best of the day.
Again, behind Big Centric right, the right guard and right tackle, Jamorian George. Again, doing what they do great. Just get behind the pad level, get to the second level, and get Kelvin Washington to use his speed on the back end.
18 yards on the carry for the senior running back. Holds the single season record for rushing at Longview. Power eye here, one receiver left. Give it to Washington again, up the middle, not much there. Maybe a gain of 2 or 3 to the 27.
Again, a heavy dose of that power play. Again, what Carroll's doing against this power play right now is as the guard coming around, they're actually collapsing it and forcing it to hit right at about the A gap where they want to hit it at, whereas basically the C and B gap, so they're pushing it back inside, which is doing a good job for Carroll defense.
He's got 14 carries for 59 yards. Johnny Hamilton, the quarterback, back in the gun now. One running back each side. He'll throw on 1st and 10. Has time, but it's tipped at the line of scrimmage. He got rid of it, but it was knocked down. I believe Charlie Roberts, the one who was in there. Or no, check that. It was another Dragon defender in there. Maybe Mateo Fedor who got in there and got a piece of it.
Yeah, it looks like it was Fedor. Fedor did an excellent job just getting the hand up there and just getting a little bit of a piece of it, putting them in a longer third down for Longview.
3rd and 8 from the Dragon 27. They go back to that I formation with Doxey to the left. Washington takes the handoff, bounces it back to the right up to the 25-yard line, but well short of the first down. He picked up 2. It'll be 4th and 5.
Yeah, a great tackle by Robbie Ladd, just tackling in space, collapsing it back in the inside. And Longview's kind of that no man's world here. Maybe a little too long for a kick. They have to go for it here on 4th down.
So they will go for it on 4th down. They've gone for it once and converted. Both sidelines getting a little bit loud here. 4th and 5 for the Lobos from the Carroll 25. Hamilton to pass, has time, looking end zone, got a man, it is broken up at the last moment. Ethan Fisher snuck back and got a hand in there. It was intended for Jace Peterson, but Fisher able to break it up, and Carroll will take over on downs.
What a play by Ethan Fisher. They went to the play fake and then going over the top. It looked like Hamilton just really sided and delivered it to Ethan Fisher. There was not much fake out on the back end. It took a long time for the ball to get there, but great job and heads up play by Ethan Fisher, just with his back to the receiver, breaking up the ball.
Fisher has really come on strong for the Dragons over the last few weeks. He's had some huge games here in the playoffs. Scored 2 touchdowns last week. Zarenda on first down keeps it himself, working his way up the middle for a 1-yard pickup.
Yeah, they go with a little GY counter there with Trent Wilson pulling over to the right, and then the tight end coming up for mop-up duty. Again, Renda spills it and goes right in between the guard and tackle there for minimal gain.
2nd and 9 from their own 26. 2 receivers right, tight end to the left, Glenn in the backfield. Renda fakes it to Glenn, throws it out into the slot for Blake Gunter, who is upended as he crosses the 30-yard line by TJ Jackson, the sophomore corner. We've called his name a lot. He's had a good game.
Yeah, it seems like this Longview team, inside, they're pretty tough, in terms of the speed they can get. Now on the outside of the perimeters, where Southlake's really found a lot of the success tonight or today so far.
So 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 4 for Carroll. Ball up to the 31. Two receivers each side. Glenn in the backfield with Renda. Angelo looks to the sideline, changing the play at the line. Now brings the tight end, John Mark Fraga, in motion. Hands it to Glenn, moving up the middle. First down yardage across the 35. And he is up to the 37 of the Dragons for a gain of 5 and a first down.
Great. They didn't see what they liked, and great trek back to the inside zone. Heading in between left guard Trent Wilson and center Kerry Clayton. Great job on getting that 10 yards. And what movement in terms of Christian Glenn getting to that second level.
Two receivers to the left, one to the right. With Gunter off the left hip of the left tackle. Fake it to Glenn over the middle. Gunter wide open across the 40. Cuts back across the 35. Inside the 20. He has a chance to go all the way. Touchdown, Dragons. Blake Gunter goes 63 yards for the touchdown. And Carroll takes a 16-10 lead.
Welcome to the state semifinals, Blake Gunter. Incredible job. We've seen it throughout the year, but great job getting behind the secondary or the linebackers on Longview, and then just being an athlete, making a cut, making a move, finding the end zone. Terrific protection up front. Great pitch and catch by Angelo to Blake Gunter.
Tommy Pennington Compass Group extra point by Gavin Strange is up, and it is good. So teams trade possessions to start the third quarter, but on Carroll's second of the second half, they punch it in with 8:31 to go in the third. It's Carroll 17, Longview 10 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Christmas is a season of joy as we celebrate that manger in Bethlehem and the dawn of God's redeeming grace. All month long, White's Chapel is filled with opportunities to experience the joy of the season. From our trains, musical programs, and activities of all types, we invite you to come and share in the celebration. Please go to our church website for times and information. Join us as we repeat the sounding joy of Christmas.
TJ Jackson, Kelvin Washington back to receive the Mocero kickoff from Gavin Strange after Carroll scores on a 63-yard Blake Gunter touchdown reception. And this kickoff is going to go out of bounds along the visitor sideline for the Dragons. So uncharacteristic of Gavin Strange. And it will be a penalty for the Dragons. Kickoffs powered by Mocero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Mocero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us on the shops at Southlake.
Out of bounds on the kicking team. Longview's elected to place the ball at the 30-yard line. First down.
Find him at the shops at Southlake. 4-play, 75-yard drive for Carroll that took 149, and now Kelvin Washington takes the pitch from Hamilton, running left side out of the I formation up to the 35-yard line, picks up 5 yards on first down.
Little toss sweep off to the left. You know, we haven't seen that a lot from Longview tonight, but trying to get some speed on that perimeter for this Longview offense.
2nd and 5. Longview turned it over on downs on its last possession. I formation again, tight end to the right. They'll pitch it to Washington going right side this time. Makes one defender miss in the backfield. Gets across the line of scrimmage up to the 39. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Again, going to another toss sweep to the right. Again, trying to utilize that speed of Kelvin Washington. William Chin almost had him there in the backfield, tripped him up just a little bit.
3rd and short. They stay in the I formation. Strong side to the right, tight receivers tight to the formation. Hamilton takes the snap, plunges up the middle. We'll see where they spot it. It looks like they're going to move the chains. He got a yard to the 40 for a first down. We've seen them keep it in his hands a couple of times today on these short quarterback sneaks. One time he got into the end zone for a touchdown.
He just gives that, Hamilton gives that bigger body. We talk about him just falling down and just getting, a yard or two just due to his size.
This time he's out of the gun with one back to each side. Will throw on first down. Washington makes a block in the backfield. Hamilton under pressure and is going to be brought down and sacked. Getting there for the Dragons was Marcus Browse into the backfield. Washington took on one defender, and Browse came in. They didn't have another body to block. Loss of 5 on the play.
Relentless pressure by Marcus Browse out the edge. He didn't get it the first time, kept going, then got him down. It leads to the question, why is Longview throwing on first down, Chris? You just had tremendous luck on the first 3 downs of this series. Toss left, toss right, run up the middle. Now you're playing behind the chains.
2nd and 15, 3 receivers right out of the gun. They fake it to Mumphrey in the backfield. Hamilton with time, throws over the middle, and it is caught right at midfield by the senior receiver, Kiefer Doxey, a 15-yard pickup to move the chains.
Hitting Doxey there on a little slant across the middle. You had the Carroll sidelines waving incomplete, but obviously completion for Longview.
It was close. Doxey had to go down to the ground to get it, as Hamilton has had some throws go low on him today. But Doxey able to reel that one in. I formation, 1 receiver left. Give it to Washington, running up the middle, trying to get out of the backfield, and there he goes across the 40. Makes another to tackle or miss at the 30. Cuts it back at the 20, inside the 15, and finally brought down by Fisher after a big gain of 36 yards, and that is what Washington does if he can get to that second level.
He's dangerous at that second level. He can make guys miss, and he can turn on the afterburners. But I'll tell you this, Ethan Fisher didn't get him down once, didn't get him down twice. The second effort to save a touchdown was great on the Carroll defender.
Dragons never stop pursuit on defense. Enough green jerseys down the field that Washington didn't have just a straight line to the end zone. I formation, 1st and 10 from the 14. Washington again, up the middle, a couple of yards there. He's up to about 108 yards on the day on 19 carries.
Hasn't seemed like a lot, for Washington, more so 100 yards. But, he can get it. He keeps chipping and chipping away at it. This is what this Longview offense will do.
And last week against DeSoto, 273 yards and 5 touchdowns. He had one ridiculous game against Rockwall earlier this season. They rushed for 380 and 6 touchdowns. I formation again, no receivers. Lots of big bodies along the line here. They give it to Washington again, trying to pick his way up. Hit hard as he crossed the 10-yard line and gets to the 9.
There's a lot of violence on the field right now, Chris. There's a lot of hitting right in those trenches, that goes unforeseen. But I tell you what, it is a physical matchup up front, gashing the middle, play after play.
It's not a huge Longview offensive line, but they are certainly physical. John King described him as scrappy. 3rd down upcoming, 3rd and 5 from the Dragon 9. I formation, all tight ends in there. Give it to Washington again, inside the 5, still on his feet, into the end zone for the touchdown. Kelvin Washington finds the end zone for the first time today, and we are an extra point away from being tied at 17.
It's a response that Longview needed. They needed to respond against that Dragon touchdown. They took the length of the field, 70 yards. It got into the end zone and really behind Kelvin Washington.
And Mitchell on for the extra point try. Washington scores his 34th rushing touchdown of the season. Snap is good, the hold down, and the kick is true. With 3:49 to play in the 3rd quarter, we are all tied up at 17 in the 6A Division II State Semis on the Dragon Sports Network.
Mike Mills, managing partner at Mills Wealth, an independent investment firm focused on helping business leaders make wise decisions regarding family wealth. Election season is upon us, and no matter who wins, it is likely the Trump-era tax cuts will sunset on 12/31/25. The estate tax exemption, which is mostly voluntary for those that plan ahead, may get chopped in half to about $14 million per couple, affecting more people. Good planning takes time, so don't wait. Develop a game plan that accomplishes your wishes and protects what you have built. If we can help, give us a call or look us up online at millswealthadvisors.com.
Longview with a 9-play, 70-yard drive that took 4:42 off the clock and ended with the Kelvin Washington touchdown run to tie this game at 17 with 3:49 to go in the third quarter. Kickoffs powered by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. Jacquemart fields it running left to right. He's hit behind the 10-yard line and brought down at the 9. Great kick coverage for the second straight time for the Lobos, and Carroll will again not have great starting field position.
The second time we've had number 27 for the Lobos, Lawson Tubb. Big come up on the kickoff again.
Just a sophomore getting down there in a hurry. The first down for the Dragons at their own 9. Trips right to the short side of the field with the ball on the right hash. Tight end to the left. Glenn in the backfield with Renda. Angelo takes the snap, will hand to Glenn, or keep it himself across the 10. Some running room across the 15, and finally brought down across the 20-yard line by Brooks, the senior linebacker.
Just a little zone read here, just keeping it in right in Christian Glenn, getting the movement to the left side. Angelo keeps it, takes it off the right side, reads the defensive end. Great block on the perimeter by Brock Boyd to spring Angelo here for a first down.
Picked up 11 on the play. New set of downs for the Dragons at the 20. 3:15 to go in the third quarter. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Glenn and Renda in the backfield. Tight end to the left as well. 6-man box for Longview. Renda takes the snap, throws it out for Gunter in the flat, but a little too strong out in front of him, and it falls incomplete.
Again, trying to work that perimeter that they found success so far for these Dragon receivers. A little too much on it from Angelo Renda there.
Stops the clock, 3:04 to go in the third. The other state semi won't be played until 7 o'clock tonight. Vandegrift and Summer Creek down in Waco. 2 receivers left. Boyd all alone on the right side of the formation. They've got help shaded that way with Glenn in the backfield. Renda gives it to Glenn, trying to find some running room up the middle. Falls forward for a gain of about 3 to the 23-yard line.
A little inside zone run to Christian Glenn. Find a little bit of room between Nathan Domrocky and Kerry Clayton there. And got about 3 or 4 yards, about 3 yards.
3rd and 7 coming up here. Dragons 50% on 3rd down today, 2 of 4. 2 receivers stacked each side, ball on the right hash. Glenn to Renda's left. They motion him out to the right. Angelo, empty backfield, looking to throw, falls incomplete. Was looking along the numbers on the home side for Blake Gunter. And it'll be 4th down. Carroll will punt.
Looks like there was some type of confusion on the route, disconnect between Renda and Gunter there. They weren't even completed on the route and the ball was already out.
So Hayes on to punt for the second time today. It'll be TJ Jackson back to receive. He's back there with Robert White, their primary punt returner, being injured on the opening kickoff of the game. Flag comes out before the snap.
On the offense, number 9, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
3rd false start on the Dragons today. That backs them up 5. First time out, Hayes booted it 39 yards. Jackson standing back at his own 40. Hayes barely gets this one away. May have been tipped, and it lands at the Dragon 30. Takes a huge Carroll bounce across midfield all the way into Longview territory. It'll be down at the Lobos 48, but I believe it was tipped, and Dragons very fortunate that it took that roll across the 50. Ends up being a 34-yard punt despite the tip. And good starting field position for the second straight drive for Longview. They come out in the I formation. One receiver to the right. They give it to Washington on first down. Trying to bounce it outside, has some room, and is going to be brought down by Fisher. Shy of the 45-yard line at the 46. Ethan Fisher's had a big day on the outside.
He's had a lot of tackle-saving plays, and he's helping set that perimeter for the Dragon defense, which, as this middle of this Dragon defensive line clogs up the hole, they're starting to bounce it out just a little bit. We've seen success with the sweeps, and just, Mumphrey and Washington get to the sidelines a little bit.
The extra lineman, Charlie Roberts, into the game here. The power formation for the Lobos. They give it to Washington behind the right guard across the 45 to the 42. That'll be a first down. Picked up 4 yards on 2nd and 4.
They're getting behind their identity, this Longview team now. They're getting this I formation. They're running right, running left. They're keeping it between the tackles, having to bounce it when they can. They're sticking to what has gotten them here as a team.
Just over a minute to go in the third quarter. Trips left. One running back to the right. That's Mumphrey. Hamilton takes the snap, keeps it himself. Flags fly in the secondary. And Hamilton going to be tackled along the far sideline. Let's see what these flags are for. 3 of them came out all at once. Officials discussing things over along the Lobo sideline.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 12 men here in the play. 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Carroll caught with an extra man on the field. They'll be 1st and 5. They go back to the I formation. 4th penalty on the Dragons today. They faked the pitch out to Washington, gave it to Mumphrey, and he gets a yard to 36.
Great job by Davidge, being that presence there in the middle with Lucky. Again, they'll hit you to the right, they hit you to the left, and then they'll hand off to Mumphrey right up the A-gap. Great job on the big stop.
Back to this power set for the Lobos. They've been running on these extra tight ends, Donovan Denmark and Jaden Washington. When they do, the Dragons have been countering with Jackson Oakley and Charlie Roberts coming into the game in place of some defensive backs. I formation, Washington across the 35, falls forward across the 30, another first down.
Again, getting behind, Cedric Wrighton and Jamari George. They found a lot of success on this right side of this Longview team. Right guard Cedric Wrighton, he's about 6'3", 300. He's got a little bit of size behind him.
Another first down. They actually spot it at the 30. Washington up to 136 yards rushing on 24 carries today. And the third quarter is going to come to an end.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Before Longview is able to get that final snap off. The fourth quarter we go, all tied at 17 between Carroll and Longview in the 6A Division II State Semifinals. Fourth quarter starts next on the Dragon Sports Network.
This is Dr. Mark Greenberg, team physician for the Carroll Dragons. All-Star Orthopedics is proud to be the official sports medicine providers of Dragon Athletics. Our 8 board-certified orthopedic specialists offer surgical as well as non-surgical treatments for a full range of orthopedic injuries and conditions, with on-site imaging and physical therapy, along with best-in-class outpatient and inpatient surgical facilities. You can trust that we will be there with you every step of the way. Let us get you back in the game.
What else can you ask for? Fourth quarter, tie game, state semifinals, Carroll and Longview. Winner to the state championship game. Dragons, the 4th-ranked team in the state at the 6A level. Trying to keep the magic rolling here in the playoffs. It's been a run full of tight games. Carroll got by Friendship by a touchdown. Got by Hebron by 5. Was down early to Geyer before coming back and winning by 11. Longview ball at the Dragon 30-yard line. A new set of downs for the Lobos. 1st and 10 from the right hash. They stay in that power formation. I set with Washington at running back. They give it to him on 1st down. Runs forward right up the middle for a short gain. Before he's brought down by Charlie Roberts. In the 3rd quarter, Longview 110 yards total offense, Carroll 89.
I think this last drive, you're seeing it really switch and really get behind the line and Chris, get back to the power game of what they do and leave it in Calvin Washington's hands. You'll get it 3 to 4 yards at a time here.
They bring a couple of receivers back into the game to the Lobos. One back in the backfield, it's Washington. Hamilton rolls out, is going to throw incomplete. Intended for the tight end, Bryant Williams. A flag came out in the backfield, and I think they're going to get Longview for a hold. As Hamilton was dead to rights behind the line of scrimmage.
Holding, offense, 75. 10-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Got the left guard, Jaden Jackson, for the penalty. Backs it up to the 37.
He had him out in the flat again, Chris, but it's not his. Hamilton's, strength is not, especially throwing with pressure in his face. Again, stay to your identity, Longview.
2nd and 17. The 37. Carroll fans are up on their feet on the home sideline. I formation. Play fake. Hamilton with time. Throws down the left side. It is intercepted. Ethan Fisher took it away from Demarion Williams down at the 5-yard line. And the big playoff run for Fisher continues. Carroll will take over deep in its own territory.
We talk about staying to your identity if you're this Longview offense. And I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to put a one-to-one coverage and try to get Ethan Fisher on the island, but he is a playmaker. He's done a tremendous job all playoff season, all season long. He's had big plays tonight, and even his biggest play of the year coming right there for the Dragon defense.
First interception of the day thrown by Hamilton, just his 2nd of the year. So Angelo Renda standing on his own goal line will take the snap out of the shotgun. Fraga in motion right to left. They give it to Glenn. Big hole up the middle across the 10. Spins out of a tackle across the 15. Give the Dragons some breathing room up to the 16-yard line. First down.
Great block by Fraga. And again, just the inside zone behind the Wilson brothers, Trent and Luke Wilson, hitting right into the B gap. Keep it on the ground. And Christian Glenn, what a first step he has shown tonight. Just the explosiveness on the zone game.
9 carries for 107 yards now for Glenn, who last week scored 3 touchdowns. Gunter motions out wide to the left. They get it to Gunter with some running room across the 25, dragged down out of bounds by Brian Peoples. And a flag came out, I thought, on the play.
No, looks like it was just a... Sorry, Chris, that was preemptive my end.
Something caught my eye, too. Might have just been like a piece of trash blowing in the wind. 10:33 to go in the 4th quarter, tied at 17. Dragon football along the left hash at their own 30. Gunter in motion left to right, and false start on the Dragons here. The right side of the line all moved at once.
False start, offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
They call it on Tristan Dare, but there was 3 guys on that right side that all took off at once for Carroll. It'll be 1st and 15, back to their own 25. Big crowd on hand to see the last 10.5 minutes of this state semifinal. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Dragons looking to the sideline. Boyd, a lot of room out there on the right side by himself. We've got a safety shaded over that way. Brenda takes the snap, gives to Glenn. Working the right side of the line. He is going to be tackled along the line of scrimmage, maybe got a yard. Stopped by Brendan Reese.
And if you're the Dragon offense here, they've had success again on the perimeter. They've hit Boyd there on the little kind of pop passes here. You know, you want to think that Riley's going to try to maybe go to that here just a little bit, or maybe try to get over a slant across the middle.
Dragons just had 2 guys motion at once. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Renda to throw. Gets it to Glenn out of the backfield in space. Across the 30 before he's tackled back across the original line of scrimmage to the 29.
It's a great job by Longview just staying home a little bit and not going with the clear out from Jacquemart there here on the left side, but still gave a little bit of room here for Glenn to catch the ball at the flats.
Josiah Hill on the stop, now 3rd and 9. From their own 31. 2 receivers out right, 1 to the left. H-back to the right of the formation. Glenn in the backfield. They look to change the play. The play clock down to 5. Down to 2. Renda just gets it off, has the snap, drops back, throws into the flat. Glenn again, caught at the line of scrimmage. Across the 35, this is going to be shy of the first down marker at the 38-yard line. They had to get to the 40.
You saw a little urgency there at the check down. You know, to Glenn, he was one shake and bake away from making a first down on that play.
It looks like the Dragons are going to go for it here on 4th down in their own territory. They're leaving the offense out on the field. Game tied at 17, 8:38 to play. Riley Dodge having them go for it here, 4th and 2. At the Dragon 38, and John King will call a timeout.
Timeout, Longview. It's their first timeout of the half.
We will take the timeout as well. 8:23 to go in the 4th quarter. Big 4th down play coming up if the Dragons do indeed try to go for it. We are tied at 17 in the state semis on the Dragons Sports Network.
You can trust your medical care at Southlake Dermatology. We have over 65 years of experience between Dr. Bowers, Dr. Tynard, and our 4 physician assistants. We treat a wide range of medical, surgical, and cosmetic concerns ranging from skin cancer, hair loss, rashes, increased sweating, and anti-aging. There are multiple new options for hair loss, such as Nutrafol supplements and PRP injections. View our services online at southlakedermatology.com.
The Dragons are going to go for it on 4th and 2 from their own 38. Game tied at 17 in the 4th quarter. 3 receivers left. Gunter comes in motion left to right. Rendo looks back to the sideline for the play call. Ball is on the right hash. No deep safety over top for the Lobos. Glenn shifts to Renda's left. Angelo out of the gun. Play clock down to 3. And now Riley Dodge is going to use a timeout.
Southlake Carroll, it's their first timeout of the half.
But we will take another one as well. Each coach spending a timeout before this play with 8:24 to go in the 4th quarter. State semifinal on the Dragons Sports Network.
Hey Dragon fans, Tommy Pennington here. Like the Carroll Dragons, my team understands it takes great fans to be a winner. I want to personally thank all of our Tommy Pennington Realty Group fans for their loyalty and ongoing support. It's because of you we continue to support our Dragon organizations every year. Please remember we love helping Dragon families with all of their real estate needs. I'm here to give you the best advice and to help you anytime. My Dragon fans would tell you,
Call Tommy.com. Go Dragons!
Out of another timeout, Carroll will send its offense onto the field again to go for it on 4th and 2. Each coach has taken a timeout here before this 4th down play. Tied at 17, 8:24 to go in the 4th quarter. 2 receivers to the left, tight end to the right, H-back to the right, with Glenn to Renda's right. Renda gonna keep it himself, running right side. He's tripped up, he's gonna be stopped shy of the line to gain. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, but a huge 4th down stop by Longview. I think it was DeKalen Nelson, the senior defensive tackle, getting in there and tripping up Renda.
DeKalen Nelson and Kason Brooks as well. You know, you talk about that speed off the left side of that defense of Longview. Again, Renda almost had it just a few yards short.
So a huge stop by the Lobos, who now take over in plus territory at the Carroll 38. They give it to Washington on 1st down, picking his way behind the right guard. Still on his feet across the 35. Looked like the play was dead for a moment, but they give him a couple of extra yards on the back end. He picks up 5.
Again, this is their success, Chris, that they found on this offense, is right on this right side. You know, get behind, you know, your right guard, Cedric Rington and Jamari George. Those are the guys who have paved the way so far tonight.
Strong side to the right, give it to Washington again, running behind those big extra tight ends. He's going to be hit after a short gain and pushed back. Picks up 2 to the 32.
You know, you see Kevin Washington, his legs, they don't stop moving. You know, even on contact, they are continually to move, which makes it so hard to bring him down.
3rd and 4 coming up here. The intensity starts to ratchet up as we tick just over 7 minutes to play in the 4th quarter of a tie game. 3rd and 4. Longview has converted 4 of its last 6 third downs. They give it to Washington. He is hit at the line and dropped. Davidge along with Robbie Ladd in there on the stop. No gain.
What an incredible job by the D-line. And then you talk about the back end support, just white hats everywhere around the Longview ball carrier.
And now decision time for John King.
Chris, I feel like we're seeing a chess match here between both coaches.
A lot of strategy going in to the last several minutes of this one. 6.5 minutes to go now. Longview lining up to go for it on 4th and 4. I formation, strong side to the right. They'll give it to Washington again, running behind that right side. He's not going to get to the line of scrimmage. Stopped right at the line, and both teams come up with huge 4th down stops. Carroll will retain possession or regain possession with 6:23 to play.
Chris, once you feel momentum, switch to Longview and now switches back to Carroll. This is a drive. Carroll puts a statement on. You've got to get the ball in the end zone. You got to get some points on the board.
Each team has scored 1 touchdown in the second half. We were tied at 10 at halftime. No points yet in the 4th quarter. Carroll with the ball at its own 31. 2 receivers left along with the tight end and an H-back. They bring Boyd in motion left to right. Renda takes the shotgun snap. Naked bootleg. Looking for Boyd over the middle. He makes a diving catch across the 45. Or Brody Knowles, rather, makes a diving catch to move the chains to the 47.
What a great play call by Riley. You know, putting Renda, you know, in almost a bootleg to the right, hitting Brody Knowles coming across the field. Great pitching catch by those two.
16-yard gain on the play. Knowles' first catch of the day. First down for the Dragons at the 47. Ball on the right hash. 2 receivers stacked to the left, 1 to the right. Glenn motions out of the backfield to the left. Empty backfield. They throw it into the slot for Gunter. Working his way across the 45. Up to the 43. They'll move the sticks again. A 10-yard gain.
You see Riley just picking on T.J. Jackson here. You know, the sophomore in at corner. You know, he's having to decide which guy he's going to try to take. It's kind of pick your poison, and great pitch and catch by the Dragons.
It's where that early injury to Robert White, the starter, comes into play. first down at the 43. Renda gives to Glenn. Makes a cut up the middle across the 40 and is brought down by Brooks at the 36.
Again, inside zone run by Christian Glenn. You know, you love squeezing there right between the left guard and center, getting to the second level, making a move, and getting closer to that first down marker. Great job by Christian Glenn. Good second effort.
Dragons not in a hurry here, want to eat up as much clock as they can. 2nd and 4 from the 36. Fraga motions left to right. 2 receivers to the right. Give it to Glenn again. Bounces it back on the right side. He is going to be spun down just at about the line of scrimmage by Jesse or Hampton's Williams. Maybe even a loss of a yard.
It's a few times we've seen Williams there on Longview on the back end come up. You know, he's got the speed and he's been locked down in terms of tackling today. A great stop.
Bring the tight end off the field in favor of the 4th receiver in Brody Knowles. 3rd and 5 coming up. Glenn now 11 carries, 116 yards today. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Gunter in motion to the left. They'll give it to Glenn, running up the middle across the 35. He's hit hard and going to be awfully close to a first down, but they may mark him just short. I think it's going to be 4th and inches here.
He reached out the ball in the nose to try to get every inch he could. And it looks like he's about an inch short.
Dragons going to go for it here. 4th and inches.
They brought the jumbo package in with Will Barley and Van Dorsel is checked in the game.
Ball is at the 34. They've maybe 33 and a half. They've got to get to the 33. Getting lined up here, Renda out of the gun. 1 receiver to the right. Renda takes the snap. Running behind the left side. He's not going to get much, but he got enough. That'll be a first down for the Dragons. He picked up maybe less than a yard, but has the first down.
He needed maybe 3 inches and got 4, Chris.
That's all it takes. Fraga back into the game for Carroll. So they send a couple extra linemen back off to the sideline. Taking down to 3 minutes to play. Tied at 17. Ball right in the center of the field right now. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Fraga on the right side of the formation. Gunter motions left to right. Give it to Glenn running up the middle and is going to be stopped after a short gain. I think it was Hampton Williams again on the stop, or Brendan Reese in there as well.
And folks, you can hear, you know, just the crowd, you know, the clock is winding down here. And again, this is a tie ball game. Looking to get some points here, but also the more you can eat at this clock, Chris, the better.
Carroll's done a great job killing some clock here on this drive. 2nd and 7 at the Lobos 31. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Glenn in the backfield. Renda takes the shotgun snap, going to hand it to Glenn again, picking his way on the left side. It keeps the pile moving. The line's getting behind him for an extra push forward to the 26. The crowd could hear a little surge of noise there, liked what they saw from the effort of this Carroll offense.
You love this offensive line. They're really getting behind. They're saying, hey, get behind us, Christian and Angelo, and let's try to get it in that second effort, just pushing that pile, getting inches and inches closer to that first down marker. You're looking at a 3rd and 3 right now.
It comes at the Lobo 26. This is going to be the 9th play of the drive that started with 6:23 to go. So the Dragons have killed 5 minutes of clock here. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Renda, keep it himself this time. Gets away from a defender in the backfield, dives forward, and picks up another first down to the 22. Hampton Williams was right there in his kitchen, and Angelo somehow made him miss and picks up the first down.
What a play by Angelo. Goes right, cuts left, gets into the back end, gets the first down, keeps the chains moving for the Dragons.
60 seconds to go. Dragons here may be content to try a field goal for the win as the clock runs down if they keep it on the ground here. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Renda calling for the snap, but flags fly. A false start on Carroll. you're wondering, Gavin Strange along of 43 this year. He's already hit from 40 today.
I think that's, ultimately, Chris, the strategy between Dodge on this drive was to slowly, methodically run.
Asked for a feed store hamburger. And one scamp, well, he even had the nerve to ask for feed store burn-ins. Yeah, feed store is famous for its barbecue, but there's so much more. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
.11 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 16 for the Dragons from the Longview 27. One receiver each side. Renda takes the snap, gives to Glenn, trying to get some yards up the middle, gets across the 25 to about the 28-yard line, and Riley Dodge, with 3 seconds left, is going to spend a timeout.
Carroll, it's their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
And set it up for Gavin Strange to send Carroll to the state championship game with a field goal try. Carroll uses his last timeout. 4th and 12. The ball is at the 24-yard line, so it'll be a 41-yard field goal try for Gavin Strange. That is well within his range. He's hit from 40 today, and that one had plenty of distance on it. Wind blowing slightly out of the north, but not much. The flags in the corner of the stadium just gently moving as Strain comes on for the Tommy Pennington Compass Group field goal try. Longview does have another timeout yet if they want to ice it. The holder, Zach Hayes. Strange on the kick, but before the Dragons can snap the ball.
That's their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Longview uses its last timeout. Try to ice Gavin Strange here. Strange has been solid for the Dragons all season long. 97% of his extra point tries, 6 of 8 on field goal attempts. Also is starting safety for this team. And the junior trying to send Carroll to the state championship game for the first time since 2020.
The little things here, Chris. Deep breath, no false starts, good snap, good hold, good kick. It's definitely within Strange's range.
Teams headed back out onto the field again from 41 yards for Strange. The tee on the left hash at the 31-yard line. We are set to go with 3 seconds left. The snap is down. The kick is up. It's end over end. It is no good. He missed it to the right. There is a flag in the backfield. See what the call is by this crew.
Running into the kicker on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
So Carroll will have one untimed down here, and Strange will get another shot from 5 yards closer. This will be from 36. Ball moved up to the 19.
Because it felt like the kick was taking forever to get there. Pins and needles here in the booth.
Ball is at the 26. The snap is down. Strange puts the foot into it. It
Dragons
is
are going
good!
to state!
The Dragons, for the first time since 2020, will play for a state championship. The Dragons are mobbing Strange at the 35-yard line. coaching staff slapping bags, hugs all around as the home sideline is on its feet. And Carroll will have a chance to add to its trophy case, looking for state championship number 9.
What a moment for every Dragon fan listening. If you're out there watching, if you're at the game, what an incredible moment for these Dragons. Battled all game long. Great coaching at the end of the game to dwindle down the time to leave it in Carroll's own hands to win the game.
If you joined us late in the fourth quarter, some gamesmanship between the two coaches. Each went for it on a fourth down, knowing that possession was vital here in the final 8 to 10 minutes or so of the game. Each team was stopped on those fourth downs. Carroll did not face a fourth down on its last drive, able to get into field goal range. Gavin Strange missed his first attempt, but was run into by a Lobos special teams player, earning him 5 extra yards and an untimed shot at another game winner. Team shaking hands right now at midfield.
Longview Lobos, you hold your head up high. You played a tremendous game. What an effort. Blue collar mentality. You came to work. Incredible job today doing what you do. You're here for a reason. Incredibly coached team and a very class act here at the end of the game in sportsmanship.
How about this for the game-winning drive? 13 plays, only 45 yards, but 6 minutes and 23 seconds to go 45 yards. It's a lot of short gains, but long enough to keep the sticks moving. Dragons coming out of the handshake line right now and hearing it from the crowd on the home side of Ford Stadium. And Carroll, 8 state championships on its resume, will try to become the 4th team to win 9 in 11-man football, along with Aledo, Katy, and Carthage, the only other 3 to do it. Team finishing up, congratulating the Lobos. Just about everyone has made it back now to the home sideline here at Ford Stadium, as the Lobos make their way to the visitors' side for their alma mater. And Carroll will play the winner of Austin Vandegrift and Humble Summer Creek for the state title next Saturday at 3 o'clock at AT&T Stadium.
It'll be a game to watch tonight as this euphoria leaves these Dragon players. What a moment for them that they're experiencing right now. You talk about, look at the season, Chris. You talk about losing Riley Wormley, Davis Penn, battling the second and third rounds, getting the opportunity versus Geyer, and then tonight finishing out for the opportunity for state next weekend.
And looking at it for the Dragons, maybe one of the more improbable runs to a state championship game in recent Carroll memory. You're used to, especially in the early rounds, looking at scores and seeing, Carroll's getting by these teams by 20, 30 points. After the opening round win this year for Carroll over Mansfield Legacy, a 7-point win over Friendship, a 5-point win over Hebron, an 11-point win over Geyer, and now by just 3 over Longview. This is the Dragons team that has played in close games now for a month straight.
A little bit of the cardiac kids, a little bit, getting your blood pressure a little high, but the resiliency of these young men and how they've battled all season, they've done a tremendous job. They've earned every right to be at this opportunity today and earn the right to a state championship next week.
They are performing the alma mater right now along the home sideline. We will chat a little bit more about this one as we continue here at Ford Stadium at SMU, run through some of Scott Farrell's stats, rehash some of this one, and talk about the state title game next week at AT&T Stadium. So final score in the state semifinals, Carroll 20, Longview 17 on a Gavin Strange walk-off 36-yard field goal to send Carroll to the final for the first time since 2020. Be right back after this on the Dragon Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Macero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso-craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Macero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
This time of year, we're all looking for something, but what we really need won't be found under any tree, and it can't be bought for any price. What we're looking for is love, and hope, and peace, and joy. What we're looking for is a place to belong in and a place to believe, a place where miracles still happen. This Christmas, we invite you to find your home at White's Chapel during one of our 7 candlelight Christmas Eve services. Join us as we celebrate the birth of our Savior and the hope of the world.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
Carroll wins 20-17 over Longview to go to the state championship game on a walk-off field goal by Gavin Strange. Start with this. Robert, how you feeling?
Oh, God, Chris, I'm a little pumped. I'm a little on cloud 9 here. I had to stop myself from jumping through the window up here, but I'll tell you what, as excited as I am, I can't imagine what these kids are feeling. I am so excited for each of these kids. What a opportunity and what a feeling.
And for it to happen on a game-winning field goal as time expires makes it all the more nerve-wracking and probably all the more, I don't want to say more rewarding, but the high is even a little bit higher because of the fashion in which it happened.
It was a storybook ending, and you could start to see it playing out with about 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the fourth. You could see the mind of Riley working and what he was trying to get accomplished and what execution. Great job.
Let's talk about that final drive a little bit for Carroll, because we talked a lot about each team going for it on fourth down earlier in the fourth quarter, and then when it became apparent that Riley Dodge was not going to worry. If a guy breaks a run, great, score a touchdown, but that was not going to be how the plays were going to be called. Instead, it was a 45-yard drive that took nearly 6.5 minutes. How was Carroll able to slowly, methodically work its way down the field 3-4 yards at a time?
I think both of these. This matchup tonight was two fighters here that are going to be on the ropes, right? They had the ropes on each other all game long, and none of them really broke. They bent a little bit. It's just that Longview bent a little bit more when it was crunch time, and the big conversion for that first down for the Dragons and that run by Renda was great. And just setting up and keeping them in the field goal range. And we just talk about execution a lot, Chris. And this Dragon team, they execute in all three phases all the time. And what happened that last 6 minutes is not a coincidence. Okay, that is from that's what really the lore of the Dragons. That's the culture that starts with the staff, the preparation, and being able to have the kids to be able to do that and have an opportunity at the end to win. It's an incredible job all around.
Well, again, Carroll will take on the winner of Austin Vandergrift or Humble Summer Creek out of the North Houston area next week at AT&T Stadium. That game is going to be at 3 o'clock. It is the middle game of a triple header that Saturday. So if you want to watch 9, 10, 11 hours of high school football, good day to go hang out.
I'll be there with doors open, Chris. I'll bring the Chick-fil-A. We'll have a little picnic, and I will be there once those doors open. I'll guarantee you that.
Well, again, Gavin Strange, the game winner from 36 yards out. 36 yards out to send Carroll to the state championship game. And Carroll with 8 titles in its history. Last played for one in 2020 when the Dragons lost to Austin Westlake, of course, in the Dodge Bowl that was highly touted going into that one. But since that year, 3 trips to the semifinals, and this is the first time getting back to the state championship game. So the Dragons trying to continue to build on that legacy, and I mentioned earlier, only 3 other programs have won 9 11-man football championships in Texas. That is Aledo, Katy, and Carthage. So the Dragons trying to add their name to that elite list. But that will just about wrap it up for us here from Ford Stadium on the campus of SMU. Got some numbers here quickly from Scott Farrell in this one, working quickly over here to my right. In total yardage, Carroll 320, Longview 311. So deeper you get into these playoffs, the yard numbers are starting to come down. The defenses, there's a good story in the morning news this week about how all of the DFW area teams left were all in the top 11 in the area in total defense, and I think that really comes to show itself deep in the playoffs.
I think in the competitions, it's so strong up here in DFW as well. And the preparation, right? You look at a team like Carroll, they're not in a slouch of a district at all. And then, you see across the area, Louisville, Geyer, the Duncanvilles, the DeSotos, things like that. There's just great football all around, Chris.
From a split standpoint in that yardage numbers, for Longview, 171 on the ground, 140 through the air. For Carroll, 146 on the ground, 174 through the air. Carroll 3 of 9 on third down. Longview 6 of 13 today. Dragons 5 penalties for 25 yards. Longview 3 for 20. From an individual numbers standpoint, the quarterbacks, Johnny Hamilton for Longview 6 of 15, 140 yards and 1 interception. For Angelo Renda, 13 of 21, 174 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. That touchdown went to Blake Gunter, who had 4 grabs for 99 yards in the score. Brock Boyd, 5 for 38. Christian Glenn, 3 catches out of the backfield for 21 yards. And Brody Knowles, 1 for 16. That was a big-time diving grab over the middle in the fourth quarter. On the ground for Carroll, Christian Glenn, 17 carries, 128 yards, and a touchdown. Renda, 10 carries for 5 yards. And Luke Jacquemart, 2 for 13. And Kelvin Washington still got his numbers, 29 carries for 146 yards, but was not the factor in the game that we thought he might be.
No, I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but I felt like Longview went away from their bread and butter in key moments and key situations where they really needed to really, press the Carroll defense. I thought they went to the air a little bit too much when they shouldn't have, and it caused some missed opportunities on the field. But again, that's why you play the game. Both of these defense and this Carroll defense, they bent, but they didn't break. They came up with big plays. Ethan Fisher, that D-line, the linebackers playing over the top. Then the flip side, the Carroll offensive line, Christian Glenn. I can't say enough about Christian Glenn and how what he's been thrust into as a role and how he's excelled and exceeded. What a moment for that young man. And then Renda and the whole gang, Gunter, Knowles, just done a tremendous job.
And quickly, some of the other games going on right now in the state. The other one in DFW today, up in Allen, Duncanville, and North Crowley, the top 2 teams in 6A Division I. Duncanville leading 21-15 in the third quarter of that one. A couple of finals today. The winner of that one will play Austin Westlake, which has beaten Galena Park North Shore 35-10 today. 5A Division I today, Smithson Valley beat Angleton, so it'll be Smithson Valley and Highland Park on Saturday. That's actually at 11 a.m. at AT&T Stadium Saturday if you want to get there early and watch Highland Park and Smithson Valley in that one. And then the lone game that we'll be watching later tonight down in Waco, Vandegrift, and Summer Creek. Carroll will play the winner of that one for the state title. So Dragons get about 4 to 5 extra hours of recovery going into that one.
Yep, we get a little extra time for you to grow out your mustache, Chris, because we are shaving mustaches next week in honor of the Carroll coaches who did it as well as a good luck charm. So if we can get a little photo next week with you with the mustache, it'd be great.
I'll let you know about that as we go on in the week. Well, that'll wrap it up for us here at Ford Stadium on the campus of SMU. For our Tradio production team, Tim Polster and Trey Bell, producer Bill Webb, statistician Scott Farrell, and for Robert Clayton, Chris Blake saying good night from University Park, where the Dragons win on a walk-off field goal by Gavin Strange, 20-17 to go to the state championship game. We will talk to you for the final time next week on the Dragon Sports Network.
This week's Dragon football broadcast has been brought to you by Watts Chapel United Methodist Church, Feed Store Barbecue, Kim Bedwell, Briggs Freeman Sotheby, Godwin Bowman PC, The Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, Tommy Pennington Realty Group, Macero, All-Star Orthopedics, Clayton and Clayton Real Estate, Hearst Autoplex, Southlake Dermatology, CLC Roofing, Patriot Mobile, AC Pros, and Mills Wealth Advisors. Thanks for joining us, and go Dragons!